What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. We're live here, the T5S2 Pod 25 Finals. This is over here.
Happy holidays, all.
Hey, Skedaddle with the sub. Thank you, Skedaddle. Thanks everybody who's subbed today. I saw a couple people in there. I appreciate all of the support. But we have over here in the red, Jonathon B, a finals table staple, with his ridiculous Craftworlds army that we just saw beat by the thinnest of margins, Devon's Grey Knights, just last week. Jonathon's been on an absolute tear. I believe that he is, although some scores have yet to be reported in the final standings for Season 4, which it does end on January 9th. He was number 1, but he's been unseeded. He's now number 2. Kian Ash C. Ton in first place, but we do have Jonathon come in with second with a bunch of pod wins. 4 pod wins, 5, 14, 10, and 23, and looking for his 5th just to seal the deal. In case you weren't already convinced of the Craftworlds domination, Jonathon's here to try to grab himself another win, and he is up against trying to stifle those dreams of 5 wins. We have Bluestar, appropriately in the blue, a newcomer to the final stable who we haven't seen before. So this is going to be exciting. Adeptus Sororitas, a list that we have seen a similar version played by Ash C in the past. The Redemption Engine Stampede, that's coming at you with a billion penitent engines and mortifiers that are just going to come and give you a little buzzsaw. You know, you're looking for a close shave, and they're here to give it to you with those 2 damage buzzsaw weapons. So, and also some flails, I guess. Maybe you need a massage? You got some tension in your shoulders, they say. Let me just use my little massage stick here and crush you into a pulp. Let's talk about these lists real quick. Exclamation point list in the chat if you want to follow along with the list. We'll talk about Bluestar first, because we're already over here. This is a patrol detachment coming out of a Valorous Heart Order. So that's going to give them, on the couple units that will benefit from it, that's going to give them a little bit of damage, or AP reduction. We have Ephrael Stern and Kai Ganil, as well as Morphin Ball in the HQ slot. There they all are. Looking good. Ephrael and Kai Ganil, kind of a staple for this variety of Sororitas list. One of the interesting things about it is that even though there is this focus on redemption engines, a lot of the damage actually comes out of these 6 character models right here. We have Celestine and her Gemini Superior, alongside Ephrael and Kaiganil and Morphin Val. Morphin Val is also here to drop some of those buffs on these Retributor units that are going to be running up the table. But between Morphin Val's shooting, Ephrael's Pseudo Smite, as well as the melee output of all of these characters, which is pretty significant in and of itself, you basically are going to have to deal with that multiple turns in a row, because it's hard to actually get to grips with them through bodyguards and through lookouts are granted by approximately 100 redemption engines. We have a Battle Sister Squad in that detachment alongside 5 Sacrescents to give some bodyguard to the characters, although, importantly, not Ephrael, Stern, and Kaiganil, because they are not sanctified characters, I believe is what the keyword is. We also have a Preacher with Courts of Spiritual Fortitude. We have 2 Mortifiers in that detachment, and then that's followed up by the Spearhead detachment. This is Order of the Argent Shroud. That's to give that sweet advancing shoot to the Retributors. Now, interestingly, there are no transports for the Retributors in this list, so not only do you not have to worry about that weird rule where disembarking from a transport strips your Argent Shroud benefit for a turn, but they're also going to be relatively exposed. So they may get hit, especially by indirect fire, which this Craftworlds list is going to be bringing in spades, it being Craftworlds. But that is being attended by a unit of 2 Crusaders. That's also led by Celestine and the Gemini Superior, although it doesn't make much difference which detachment they're in. That has a Seraphim squad to do some actions and burn down some infantry, a couple sets of hand flamers, as well as a plasma pistol in that squad. We also have a bunch of Retribution engines, or Redemption engines, excuse me, 1 Mortifier, as well as 3 units of Penitent engines, with a mix of Buzzblades and flails. The full salon treatment you get from these guys. We also have those 2 Retributor squads, a mix of heavy bolters and multi-meltas, as well as Armorium cherubs. No Imagifers in those units, so we're not going to be banking those additional miracle dice, but we are just going to be shooting a billion multi-melta attacks at people, which, you know what? Who needs miracle dice when you get extra multi-melta attacks? That seems fine. The heavy bolters also give them something to do if your opponent is not sort of closing in. You can, you know, potentially shoot yourself out of range with the multi-melta shooting and then use the cherubs on the heavy bolters if you want to. Also, alternatively, if you just want to peek the heavy bolters out and there's no return fire shooting, you can actually just get some work done in with them. That gives a grand total of... is that 10 heavy bolters to the list? Which is a pretty reasonable amount of firepower coming in that long range. Seems pretty good. Seems good. I like it. Let's move over to Jonathan's Craftworlds list here. Using all these gorgeous sort of updated Craftworlds models. Speaking of which... Who's psyched about those Craftworlds models that have been spoiled so far, coming out of the new Craftworlds versus Chaos Space Marines battle set, or box set? Oh, they look so good. Incredible. Do the Sister HQ models always look like that? Yeah, so those, the Sister HQ models are 3D scans. So these ones are 3D scans directly from the GW website. So there's a method to import those, and so you can see some. The Preacher also has it, and the Crusaders as well. Some of the models in the mod are imported like that. Some of them, like these ones, are all, I believe, just ports from Dawn of War. The OG sisters over here. But this one is, I think, an orange-blue circle sculpt. The Celestine, which looks phenomenally good. There's a couple of those in there. A lot of custom sculpts in the Craftworlds list here. Specifically, TTS 40k sculpts. I always love it when the community comes together and sort of creates these assemblies of their very own creations. They're not ripping from Dawn of War. They're not taking from the GW website. We're making our own 3D models for TTS, which I think is super good. Makes the game look better. But this list, pure Craftworlds, we do have one Yanari model. You have Brain hiding in the back here. This is coming out of it's 2 custom Craftworlds stuck together. Both of them have expert crafters because it's phenomenally powerful, but one of them with Hunters of Ancient Relics that's bringing a Spiritseer with Falshu's Wing. We have Yvraine as well. She's bringing a Gaze of Yniad, as well as Ancestor's Grace for that reroll 1's aura. Although, Jonathan we was speaking before the game and said he will never cast that spell. Don't worry about it. It's not going to do anything. I'm not going to cast it. You know, fair play. Yvraine's here to do mortal wounds or do nothing, I guess. We have 3 units of Dire Avengers with Defense Tactics. And Shredding Fire, the Exarch power, gives them the AP, I believe, on their on the Exarch Adventure Shuriken catapults. And then we have 3 units of Shining Spears, 1 unit of 5, 2 units of 3, to really benefit from that +1 attack while they're on objectives from that Hunters of Ancient Relics. And we've seen Jonathan use these guys to great effect in order to basically, you know, go in, clear enemies off objectives, trade for those objectives, and then especially if you can sink in the small units of Shining Spears, each of them with 3 base attacks, I think 4 on the Exarch once they're near a objective, yeah, with a combination of Strength 6 and Strength 8, 2 damage shooting and melee, means that most of the time they can clear off a little 5-man or 10-man objective secured unit on an objective. Only 110 points for that little wombo combo. We have 2 Raciers in that detachment as well. Also benefit from that +1 attack pretty effectively, both with D cannons. One of them with Quicken, one of them with Jinx, or Restrain, I guess, and one of them with Jinx. That's followed up by a Spearhead detachment, this time out of a Masterful Shots. So ignore cover, Craftworld. This is going to be bringing the indirect fire. We have an Autarch to give reroll 1s to hit. A Farseer's Skyrunner for some additional psychic power output, which this list is based very heavily around, alongside 3 additional units of Dire Avengers, so a total of 30 Dire Avengers. And that is, they are with Blade Storm, so they're going to get those exploding 6s. A little different. Alongside a unit of Swooping Hawks to perform Retrieve Octaria's data for the most part, although not in this game. We're just going to be Stranglehold Direct Assaulting, I guess. Both players very similar secondary selections. And then 3 units of Dark Reapers. That's where the artillery starts to come in. We do have Tempest Launchers on all of those Dark Reaper Exarchs for the 2d6 blasting indirect fire, strength 4 AP2 weapons. Absolutely brutal for a lot of Sisters lists, as they can go in, and even though the Valorous Heart can shrug a lot of that, ignoring cover at AP2 still means that they can concentrate down units like Sacrosaunts, or even just Battle Sister Squad sitting in the back of the table who are holding your objectives. Although we do have locking objectives. We do have locking objectives on this mission, so it's not going to be the end of the world for the Sisters if they do lose their little obsec, but it will be able to threaten the Retributors, and that's a big deal. We also have 1 Night Spinner as well to really complete the indirect fire wombo combo. We got the D cannons on the Raciers, some short range indirect fire, medium range out of those Dark Reaper Exarchs, as well as the Night Spinner to shoot all the way clear across the table with that strength 7, 2 damage indirect fire shooting. We've seen Jonathon play a lot with this list. Essentially, what he's going to do is play very conservatively, use the Dire Avengers to screen, and play for objectives alongside the Shining Spears, to be fair. As well as he slowly pounds his opponent to death with that indirect fire. As they come closer, they walk into range of the insane number of mortal wounds and offensive psychic powers that all of the casters in this army can put out. So they take a bunch of damage in the psychic phase, get debuffed a bunch, and then the real shooting happens. A bunch of Dire Avengers shooting at you. A bunch of even the Dark Reaper, standard Dark Reaper guys that their Reaper launchers start getting into play. It gets pretty brutal if the entire army attacks you. We saw him taking out some Nemesis Dread Knights in his game against Devin last week, which was pretty good. I think definitely those Nemesis Dread Knights did not expect to take so much damage from Dark Reaper, or from Dire Avengers, excuse me. But as soon as you get those full rerolls from Doom on Dire Avengers with that extra pseudo AP from Jinx that even punches through invulnerable saves, they start to take a lot of damage very quickly, actually. Oh, we should do a prediction, chat. Let's do a prediction. I apologize, chat. The real prediction is whether or not I'll forget to do a prediction. Players looks like they're closing in on the end of the deployment phase here very quickly. So we're going to do a very short prediction. Get those channel points in right now. You just have 2 minutes to drop your predictions down.
The line there that they have to be behind. If you want to see them. So they'll basically just deploy in such a way that you won't be able to see them with Rets.
Alright.
The Rets can go 12 or 13, I guess. So
13,
yeah.
You know, that's I don't know, 6 to advance.
Yeah. So they won't be able to get line of sight to me. Okay.
Yeah, pretty close, but yeah. Alright, and that leaves only these last Crusaders, which I'm going to put in the back here.
Yep.
And I am all finished deploying.
All right.
Make sure I don't have any units that I just forgot. I think we're okay.
So interestingly, both players with very aggressive secondary objectives. That's not too surprising from the Sororitas, since I guess the downside of the Penitent Engine Stampede is that you've kind of got one game plan, which is to just yell at your opponent directly in their face and run across the table with a bunch of Penitent Engines and make them deal with it, as you slowly sort of attrition them down with Retributors hitting their important units and the characters being able to attack kind of unassailably. So the selection of Direct Assault and Stranglehold makes a lot of sense for Sororitas, especially with the speed of those Redemption Engines, so they can actually get to these side objectives relatively easily. It's not too hard for the Eldari as well. Obviously, they're going to be able to drop those Shining Spears up there, but the rest of their army being not super fast infantry, although we do have that Auto Advance 6 stratagem, which might come in handy for Jonathon as he moves up to contest some center objectives with those Dire Adventures. But The question, I think, will be whether Jonathon can kind of out-attrition this Penitent Engine swarm before it overwhelms the middle, since both of them are trying to hold that middle. Direct Assault giving them 3 points at the end of their turn if they hold the center objective. Stranglehold also giving them an additional 3 if they hold 3 objectives and more than their opponent, so just 3 objectives in this mission.
That would be nice.
Which means at the end of their turn, it should be relatively easy to get one of the two, but wresting the center from all of the Penitent Engines is going to be tough. I think what Jonathon's plan, he probably is going to be here, is to just use those Dire Avengers to trade for the middle. He can put a single Dire Avenger in the middle. There's not a lot of objectives secured on the side of the table for the Sororitas here. There's not even a Dogmata to pass out objectives secured, so really it's just a one Battle Sister squad, I believe. Which means Bluestar is mainly looking to basically just remove all this objective secured, whereas all Jonathon needs to do is just send one dude onto that middle every turn, and to grab those 3 points.
The game works.
I got a 3.
Big 6 for Jonathon going first. That's also very good in this mission. You get the first opportunity to lock objectives into your favor, since as soon as you grab an objective and hold it at the start of your command phase, then it will lock into your control, so you control it until your opponent comes and takes it from you. So that gives Jonathon the ability to move up to the top left objective, potentially. Lock that in early before the Sororitas get anything into it, and that's going to force them to move aggressively towards that objective and actually take it from Jonathon. But it also means that he could just like throw one Dire Avenger unit into the center, grab that center without really having to expose much. So I imagine what we see here, unless Jonathon wants to get super crazy, I imagine we see a very conservative turn. He drops some models onto objectives 2 and 3. He takes a bunch of shooting, and then he passes the turn and says go. He's probably what we're looking at. Although it may be, looks like we might be measuring out some Shining Spear charges? Into a Mortifier that's on the end here. Mortifier not equipped with Heavy Flamers, so the Overwatch from that is not quite as menacing as it is from the Penitent Engines.
Get on the objective. If I spend 2, I can put the bikes on the line, and then they're looking at a much better charge than that.
Oh man, 83% for Craftworlds. Hot damn, chat. 25k for Craftworlds, only 5k for Sororitas?
Maybe I don't.
No belief in the Sisters of Battle from chat today. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Celestine can't advance and charge, right?
Correct.
So probably just want to avoid that.
Yeah, so Jonathon
I
very
don't
appropriately recognizing that the way he wins this game is by keeping his objective secured alive and using it to wrest objectives away from the blob of Penitent Engines. Not necessarily killing all the Penitent Engines, but just holding them up for long enough and stopping them from scoring huge primary objective swings for long enough that his shooting can kind of get to work. Now, big upside of the Mortifiers... the Mortifiers and the Heavy Bolter Retributors on the Sororitas side of the table is that Jonathon can't really play in the Sprinkler with his Dark Reapers as much as he would like to. He would like to hang out in the back, take some Heavy Bolter shots with those Dark Reapers, and start removing Penitent Engines, or take some Reaper Launcher shots with the Dark Reapers and start removing Penitent Engines. But the downside is those Heavy Bolters with the ability to advance and charge from Argent Shroud, and especially with Cherubs at their disposal, if they so desire to use them, means that he could create a situation where those Retributor's want to commit and just wipe a bunch of Dark Reapers off the table, not have to worry about that indirect fire shooting for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, her base.
Not necessarily...
Okay.
Um,
So she'll do that. Then the Shining Spears will...
not necessarily what you want to be committing your Retributors to do, but Jonathon does still have to be cognizant of that threat. So he is going to move a unit of Shining Spears. Looks like just a big advance roll with that Turbo Boost. To grab objective 2. Maybe not, actually. It's coming back. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, let's do that. So they're just going to go 16 this way. They just auto advance. they'll just auto advance actually.
Okay, so you're within 6 of Celestine's unit if you're there.
Oh yeah, she is a 6-inch roar, great. Yeah, 6.1.
Yeah.
Stay away from me, Celestine. I
Here, let me make a.
really would rather not deal with her. So, alright, so we just need to keep coherency going. Basically, just have our big toe on the objective. And
So it looks like what we're going to be doing is just electing to physically body block
just block as much.
the
real
horde
estate
of
as we can.
Is that coherent? Looks a little long. Yeah, it's about 3 inches there, but all right, we'll figure it out. Physically body block the horde of redemption engines as much as possible,
That works.
and use that unit to grab that
and then the
3
Pinch
points for
Spears,
direct assault, grabbing the center
we'll go over here
objective.
and do what they were gonna do.
And it looks like we are going to auto advance this Shining Spear unit. So it looked like what Jonathon was measuring there previously was to try to charge this mortifier and kind of get a suitably better. Oops. Let's get my telestrator going here.
Possible, 'cause we don't want to get shots. The swooping hawks will. I'll just won't advance for them. Just see what it gets. 18 inches.
To get a charge into here and potentially put one model there and then string these models back. Unfortunately, that would have made holding the objective hard. And also, there's a potential he fails that charge, which would have been super awkward. Because then he wouldn't be body blocking very much at all.
And they'll just all be in the dense as well, for what it's worth.
Swooping Hawks
Actually,
moving
we'll-
out to
we'll
stand
put
on the
the
objective.
Exarch on the objective. In case
Being
it matters.
placed such that they will not be in range of the Penitent engine. Flamers, I imagine. Yeah, they're going to be... The Penitent engines are going to be stuck hiding behind these things. They can't walk within an inch of the Shining Spears until it's time to Flamer. And that means that if Jonathon ends up not wiping any of the Retributors, the only thing that's really going to, I think, be threatening these Swooping Hawks is going to be those Heavy Bolters.
Just,
And alongside the character's ranged weapons as well.
Have the 6 up to 9, and then the 4 up strat can be used off any Sororitas unit, which includes mortifiers but not penitent engines.
Gotcha. Weird.
Yeah.
I always found the
Great.
rules for actually we'll be a little bit more finessed with the movement of these Swooping Hawks. And then Farseer will just
Yeah,
move
so keeping him in dense cover.
18 from the mortifier. Like that.
Basically, we're gonna
There, yeah. I mean,
gonna
you'll
give
be
some
able to-
lookout certs at the characters. I'm gonna put a closer unit in case these guys want to squeak sideways.
I'll advance
I
the
think
Spears
Jonathan's
here.
assuming that he's gonna remove the orange Retributor squad. But the purple one might still be a problem.
We'll go 14 to here-ish.
Basically, trying to get as many psychic powers and ranges physically possible.
Okay. She's a little bit out in the open there, but I think that's fine. 'Cause I want chinks. And the Racers aren't going to be able to get in range. So, yeah, we'll do that. We will advance Green Dire Avengers first, or blue first? Advance green first, I guess. Get in the box. No 5, so they can go 12.
Wow, really committing a lot to protect these characters.
4 to here.
Obviously, it would be kind of the end of the world if Jonathon did randomly lose his characters this early. But he is opening himself up to some pretty significant swing back. We do have the Mortifier back here. He's probably going to be out of threat range for now, who has a set of Heavy Bolters. Another one in the back here that has a set of Heavy Bolters. I imagine the Seraphim will probably survive, although I don't know if they're going to be in range with anything.
This just want to be 18 from that front penitent, which we should be. guess these guys have to be a bit further forward. That's okay. Yeah, move it. Alright, with that, we'll advance blue. I might just spend CP. No, I'll just roll it.
So just looking to get as much damage
Nice.
through using these Dire Avenger squads
Go
onto the
9,
Penitent engines. I think the
9.
assumption is that the psychic powers will kill or heavily damage the Mortifier, and then debuff the Penitent engines. We'll be able to fire first with the Dire Avengers before Bluestar pulls this front one and the unit gets out of range.
Go like 10 here.
Although, we're getting a little... I don't want to measure it for the players here. We're getting a little close to flamer range on these front Dire Avengers. And I don't know how much Jonathon wants to lose his objective secured before they're able to make a play for that center.
We should have a couple of range. That I can't really see from that's fine. We'll advance red, Dire Avengers. 2.
Oh man, they're all coming out. Everybody's coming out to play. It's like Santa's entire workshop of elves
and
has
my
been
whole objective
released
locks in
early.
as well. I forgot about that. But
It's the day after Christmas.
Oh,
They
totally
don't have
not.
to make
Lots of
nutcrackers
dumb
and tops
movements.
anymore. And they're excited to shoulder their rifles and enter the fray. Start killing the murderous robots of humanity.
perfect. The Wraith Seer is just going to. I think he just kind of shuffles up a bit to like here, so that he can shoot some stuff. I guess he doesn't have a ton of targets there. Yeah, it's fine. It'll do for now. Dark Reapers will pop their heads out. Let's see. So, let's do a line from her. Line of sight is like.
There was a comment in chat about the Retributors being reserved. I think the players had a discussion about the reserves before the game, and I know Bluestar is worried that she may get blocked out by kind of forewarned avenues. So if Jonathon's able to cover a lot of the back line or the table edges with Dark Reaper units, we could potentially see that those Retributor squads get killed when they come off the table. That said, you know, and you also have to spend CP to do that, right? So that also sucks. But
Oh, yeah, no worries.
that said, the downside is that
It's even less useful than a 1.
Yes, it is probably the most useless one.
the downside is that going second here is going to be hazardous to the health of those Retributors for sure.
Stay behind the dents. And
Defensive use of dense cover from the Dark Reapers there. The Dark Reapers themselves actually are not affected by dense cover since they always hit on 3s regardless of modifiers. Which is pretty rad. Which means that they can stand behind dense cover and not have to worry about shooting over it. Which is pretty good. That's a good ability to have, you know?
No, actually, it's just gonna kind of. Yeah. And then the pink are gonna hop their guns around the corner. Oh, no, not you. You. So they can see some mortifiers. Or not mortifiers, Penitent engines. I mean, same thing at the end of the day, really. Well, not really, but. We will roll in advance for the Autarch. Go 9. He just wants to get as many people in his reroll bubble as he can, which looks like it's. I guess we can put you here. We get green. We could if we're here, but then we're not getting orange, and I'd rather get orange. Okay, that's fine. And then the Night Spinner is just going to move up to just like this, I guess. It's got 16 inches of movement. And then the last race here, I think, is fine where he's at. I'll actually just nudge him back a bit. Just
This is
so we're not
probably,
going forward.
at least going first in this mission is probably one of the best places for D cannons. It's a super interesting weapon. D6 shot indirect fire, but it only shoots 24 inches, which means unlike most artillery, it doesn't have range, you know, most of the way across the table. So while it's able to ignore line of sight, it really needs to be close to the enemy. Fortunately, Sweep and Clear has the shortest rush distance out of any mission, with the corners of the two deployment zones only, I believe, being about 14 inches apart. Which means this aggressive placement that the Sororitas are sort of required to do because they, their army archetype is so aggressive, basically just have to deploy in range of the Racers, which we don't normally see. We actually saw those Racers do a lot of nothing for the early turns against Devon last week, where they were eventually taken down by Nemesis Dread Knight shooting after they moved out and did their thing.
Can. Kind of like that. So if you want to get into melee with her, you have to go to the backside, which is a little bit trickier. And then I'll just tuck these Shining Spears into corner. Or just into the gap that the Dire Avengers left. Just like so. Once again, staying an inch off the wall. Alright. So let's do some Psychic Phase.
Alright.
So very careful movement phase there from Jonathon.
I guess I'll start with...
To set up as much damage as he could possibly do.
She's going to cast Jinx.
This turn.
She does the 9.
Alright.
And that... I did the purple, probably. Purple has no other denied targets, so like they may...
I think we're probably going to try to put enough debuffs on the green unit that they'll get taken out.
The green penitents. The back Wraith Seer is going to just cast...
So Shield of Faith and I on Jinx did not go through.
Get it.
We are -1 save on those
Jinx,
green
-1
ladies.
to hit, is that what it was?
That's -1 to save.
-1 to save, alright.
Yeah. So Jinx is going to go in the Spirit Seer, and she's going to run away. Or not Jinx, Quicken. Did I say Quicken? I don't know. Regardless. She's going to move to there.
Right.
Then let's do... this Racer here will cast Protect. Yeah, he'll cast Protect. He fails, that's fine. We'll do Farseer, she'll cast Doom. She fails, we'll reroll both those dice with her runes of the Farseer. Yeah. Okay, still fails. Let's do Smite.
So we got the Jinx, but no Doom sucks.
That also fails.
And we're also rolling bad on our...
Oh, Farseer, what are you doing to me? That's fine.
Our offensive powers.
Your Brain will go, she will Smite. So that's a Super Smite. Because she's up for the cast.
I'll go ahead and try to deny that with the...
You got, yeah, you got enough within 24 of her. She only has 2
red.
casts, so yeah.
Yeah. Or the orange reds, rather.
Yeah.
Goes off.
Okay, so just D6 into the closest mortifier for 3.
Alright.
Just 3 feeling pains.
What a roller coaster ride the Psychic Phase has been so far.
Nice. Take 1.
Cool. And then we'll do Gaze if you need.
The warp is fickle for sure.
Right.
We're either rolling 3s or
I guess
10s.
I'll just see if you build that, whatever.
Yeah, try to gaze
Alright,
at
it goes
the
off because she's
modifier.
+1.
Exactly.
And you still got somebody in range, and this is going to be my last cast, so.
Right. 6. Goes off.
Okay, so what happens? Just D3 mortals for 2 mortal wounds.
Alright. Also on that modifier?
Yep.
Right, take both.
Cool. Alrighty. So now let's go into shooting phase. I was really hoping we were going to have Doom. That's okay. So let's just open up.
Yeah, sometimes you just roll a 6 into another 6, or a 3 into another 3. Excuse me. Not much you can do about that. We also saw the Mortifier survive, which is unfortunate, because we're gonna have to dedicate some shooting to it. Fortunately, they have not received the Anchorite. Is that correct?
Crafters. Oh, I forgot about the exploding sixes. That's okay. Nothing. Let's go ahead and do. Let's do the green Dire Avengers. They're just going to put everything into the Jinx Penitent Engines.
Sure.
So it's going to be 12 shots. Oh, I guess, actually...
Oh, they do have
technically
Anchorite,
should
so I
use
can't
the
forget.
starting shooting phase,
Yeah,
but it's
so
okay
they are
if I just
3
use it
plus
now.
base save
It's
on the
just,
modifiers,
give the Farseer reroll once to
which
wound
means
level.
Sure, that's fine.
those
It actually
little
would've helped
pop guns are
previously,
not going
but
to do too
it's
much
too
damage.
late now, so. Alright. So we will shoot the Dire Avengers, so we hit on 3s. That was very good. We
Wow.
reroll 1s, and we... Oh, wait, no, we're not in 6B attack. No. So we just have an extra Crafters. Only 1/6, so basically that 1 just hits. And then we wound on 5s. We reroll 1s, and then we have an extra Crafters. So you have 3 saves at 5-ups, because Jinx.
Right.
And then...
So make 1.
And then these 2 were AP3, because 6 is 2 under AP3. Oh, so...
Oh, where did they go? All right.
Sorry, yeah, I accidentally
Are
deleted them.
these 1 damage each?
These are 1 damage each, yeah.
All right. Take 2.
Okay. Alrighty, so then we'll do Blue Dire Avengers. They will... I think this guy can only see... Yeah, he can see green, yeah. So they'll just put everything into green as well. So another 12. Hit on 3s. Nice. With a Crafters. And then 2 extra. And then we wound on 5s. With a Crafters and a reroll 1s. Okay. So 4 just go through and 2 5-ups.
All right.
So at least 6 damage total.
Take 4.
Cool. Alrighty, so 1 down. 1 down, many more to go. Let's do Swooping Hawks. They'll just put everything into those same Penitent Engines. It's going to be 20 shots. They hit on 3s. We have an extra Crafters. And we wound on 5s. That was very good. So we reroll 1s and we have an extra Crafters. So that many 5 saves.
All right.
And they're 1 damage.
All right.
Jeez.
God, dice. I'm begging you.
The dice are not cooperating.
All right, take 4.
All
Which
right,
kills
well,
another one.
look,
Nice.
the pop gun shooting is slowly removing the penitent engines.
Okay.
I'm curious about the decision to remove the back
There's 2 left.
or
This right
penitent instead of the
here,
front one, because it
really
does allow
fun, so
more
you'll
things to
hit
target that unit.
penitents.
Sure.
So it'd be 3 shots.
Probably would have been better served removing the front couple, because you're going to be locked behind the
He moves on 2s.
or the
So 2 just
shining
go
spears
through.
anyway.
They're
So you
decent
don't really
damage,
need the
so
extra distance that you
fine.
save by having them
First
keeping the models in
1,
front.
I'll just CP reroll that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Go
so,
ahead.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
I jumped the gun.
So 4.
All right, 4, and go ahead and roll the other one.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. 6.
So
Oh.
4 and 6.
If only I got the 6 first time. That's okay. We should kill a Penitent Engine here. Just barely.
Barely.
This is a good thing to roll the 6. Oh, classic 5 of Philippines. Shining Spears will go. They'll put their lances into. They'll put lances into the 5 wound one, and we'll put the shurikens into the 2 wound.
All right.
So let's do the Exarch's lance first. So he hits on a 3. He hits wounds on a 3. Wounds. Actually, I could have just done that. I'll just roll the other 2 lances right now as well, because
Okay.
they will be the exact same profile. So that's another 2 hits, and then they wound on 3s. So 3 that just go through, and they're 2 damage each. So 6 damage total.
All right. This is into the 5 wound one.
Yes.
And take 3.
Yep. We get 12 shots. I still have my hit reroll left. So 12 shots into the other one on 3s. Okay. That was incredible. I just need that for the wound. 5s. Not as good.
It's not bad.
Well, yeah, still 4. So 4 at AP3, so these are just going to be 5 up. Or 6 up saves, right? Because he's 3 up armor.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Didn't
5
make any though.
They're 1 each. Alright.
Didn't
Good
make
job,
any of
Shining
those.
Spears.
Still
So that Morphire's dead.
Very
They,
good.
this is
Let's
exciting
shoot
shooting
with
stuff.
the Pink Dark Reapers.
Almost
So
got both
we'll
of those
shoot
models.
2 big missiles into the Penitent engine, and the Exarch is going to shoot at the purple Retributors.
All right.
Yeah. So let's do the 2 big missiles first. We hit on 3s. We hit both, and we wound on 3s. We reroll 1s from the fire stick. So 2, they're AP2 and your -1 save, so they just go through, so it's going to be 6 damage total.
All right. That was on.
That was on the Penitent engine.
Oh, okay.
Because he's jinxed it.
Yeah, I understand. I was getting ahead of myself a little bit.
No worries. All right.
All right. The Penitent engine's dead.
Okay, and then we got
Alright, 1
2d6
penguin
shots
unit killed.
into the
And 1
reds.
mortifier. But the real question mark is these Retributors. We need the indirect fire to kill all
We
these
got 3s,
Retributors.
we have all our crafters
And
left,
this
so we have
this will have
crafters,
been
and we wound
a
on
fairly
3s,
debilitating alpha
and we
strike.
reroll
There's
1.
still a lot of 40k to be played,
All right. 9
especially
saves,
with
AP2 over.
AP ignoring Secrescence,
Alright.
protecting a bunch of characters that can deal massive amounts of damage. But it would have been a lot of damage dealt.
That was a very good round of shooting there.
Okay,
still
well,
have more to
there you
come. So then let's do Pink Dark Reaper. Sorry, not Pink. That was just Pink that shot. Let's do Teal Dark Reapers. They will shoot 2 big missiles at the red Mortify or Penitent engines, and then the Exarch is going to go into the orange Retributors there.
Okay.
So 2 big missiles into the Penitent engines first on 3s. They both hit, and 3s.
This
They
is from
both
the
wound.
Dark Reaper squad?
Yeah, the teal ones.
Can I see?
I believe so. The
The
red,
red
Penitent?
Penitent.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? We go on this line here
Yeah.
with
I
the
can
other
see
guy.
him, I think.
Yeah. Okay. That was what the line that I tried to trace was. So if they need to come out a bit further, I can pull them out a bit further, but it's up to you. I mean, they're actually just gonna fire and fade anyway. So like,
Yeah. It seems to me like they can see them.
what do you think, Trevi?
Yeah, I mean, this guy would probably need to be over there, but
Oh yeah, I mean they're just gonna he can. Yeah, because
Yeah.
their guns stick out as well. So just 2 wounds at AP2, 3 damage each. On
Selvar
the
in chat,
Penitents.
exclamation
yeah.
point, how to play will get you to our tutorial series on YouTube. It has a lot of 40k tutorials, but there's also a lot on how to get started with Tabletop Simulator 40k. And exclamation point Discord, you can come play with us in the Discord. We do a lot of new player-friendly events, which are kind of more laid back, and people are just there to learn and practice with lists and stuff like that. We will have one in January because a lot of people have been asking for another one. The last one was in November, but we'll have one next or this coming month.
And then we'll go to CP and fire and fade them. And they will go to the safety of behind wall. Just like that, I guess. And we'll just use a little bit of action movement to rotate them, but okay. Then we'll do the last squad of Dark Reapers. So we'll shoot the missiles at the Penitents, same thing, and the Exarch at the Reds. So we'll do the Exarch first, actually. So 2d6 for 8s. On 3s, reroll 1s, and we have a Crafters, and 3s to wound with the Crafters. So 7 saves on the Reds.
This is the Reds?
This is the Reds, yeah.
So those are 5s, right?
Yep.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's the
And then we got 2 missiles into...
there you go. That'll do it. Unfortunately, no Valorous Heart on those Retributors. It should make it a little bit more resilient against the AP2 shooting. But we do want that Argent Shroud for the extra threat range. Doesn't help if you're dead, though. And the Retributors have been removed entirely by the Dark Reapers.
Yeah, you got
R.I.P.
Alright,
Lives.
2.
Yep.
And dies.
Okay. Very good. And then the race here, over here, we'll just shoot at the Penitent Engines, the only thing you can shoot at. So D3 shots for 1.
This is the blue penitence?
This is the blue Penitents, yeah.
Alright.
So just 1, that goes through for 6 damage.
Spicy.
Oh,
Come
Alright,
on.
kills
look at
one.
that.
Nice.
Good job,
Pretty
Racier.
good. Racier, pretty good. And then last but not least is the Night Spinner. None of the other penitents are wounded. So he'll just shoot at the blue penitent engines, I guess. They're closer after all. So 2d6 shots for 3. I've already used my CP reroll, so we're living with it on 3s.
Yeah, I think
Crafters.
it's a tough
And
decision.
threes.
I think maybe the correct play is to put the
So 2, no
Retributors
D
in
on
Strategic
D6.
Reserve, and then you either wait, or you hope that the Eldar player burns their CP and runs out enough for Forewarned, or you just bring both in at the same time and assume one of them is going to get vaporized by a Dark Reaper squad.
That, I believe, is all I
But
have shooting. So these guys all shot. These
yeah,
guys
you
all
basically
shot. These guys shot. These guys shot.
you basically are going to eat the hit on them regardless.
Don't think you have any morale to
It is a
do,
little bit less
so I
scary if you
so I'll get my
do come out of Strategic Reserve, but I think the hope here was that we just went first. Although Jonathon was probably not going to be placing anything in line of sight of those Retributors. We saw him draw some lines of fire so that he couldn't get hit by the Retributors turn 1. Which means even if the Sororitas had gone first, those Retributors probably wouldn't have done too much. So, in hindsight, probably should have put them in Strategic Reserve and just ate the Forewarned. At least it cost your opponent 2 CP, instead of just letting him shoot them immediately.
I think.
Sure. That makes sense to
I-
me.
I
Reroll the
don't have
wounds.
red to put it on
Yeah. Yeah.
anymore, which is expected, but, not appreciated.
Mm.
Alright, movement phase.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the easy stuff. Blue penitents will advance.
While you do move phase, I'm just gonna run to the washroom.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
They're going 9. Let's see, do I want to reroll that? Yeah, I'll CP reroll that. Okay, much better going 12. Seven.
Yeah, the squishiness of the Retributors in this list, I think, are also a function of the list archetype that we've elected to play. Because there's not much room for dedicated transports in this list. But obviously that weakness to indirect fire is removed by just putting them in a Rhino. Dark Reapers are pretty badass, but they are certainly not badass enough to indirect fire a Rhino to death and then also kill the models inside. They are significantly less useful when they're inside a Rhino, but at least they're not dead. And then those matchups where you're not worried about indirect fire, you can just deploy them normally. So we do see the Penitent Engines getting on in there. A big advance to get around the center ruin wall to get onto Objective 3.
Right, just advance the blue penitents, advance this mortifier to just touch the dents and the objective here.
Yeah, looks good.
Alright. Now, what to do with the rest of my army?
If your opponent's killing your Rhino with 24-inch range D cannons before the Dark Reapers get to shoot, I think you might have other issues.
Alright. I'll advance the Seraphim.
Sure.
Going a monstrous 21. Or no, 12,
Or
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get where they want to go.
Well. Let's see. So if I'm here.
Got lots of options.
I sure do. All right. Celestine has to move.
I mean, she doesn't have to. She could just stay there.
She does have to though. 12 would be here. Have.
So we do have Celestine taking
Okay.
taking point here potentially.
Right.
She has been super buffed up by the Preacher, so +1 attack off Warham and then the immunity to psychic powers from the Course of Spiritual Fortitude. Now, there are other units that are kind of leading the charge, which means that Jonathon will still get to deal damage in the psychic phase, but he cannot, in this case, fully wombo combo out and kill Celestine in the psychic phase before shooting her. Real question becomes
All right.
whether these Sacrosants move out. I mentioned we're just going to push as far forward as we can with the Sororitas army and just try to overwhelm the Eldari. That might be a little tough, though, especially given that all of these Dire Avengers are probably going to be relatively unscathed. We'll lose a bunch of the Seraphim. They are Argent Shroud Seraphim, so they're going to count as stationary when they shoot, so they're still going to be able to advance and fire those Hand Flamers. And they will do a number on Dire Avengers, which only have a 4+ save. And potentially even the Swooping Hawks. But this Eldari army tends to be sort of exponentially more powerful the closer it gets to you. Because of, or the closer you get to it, I should say. Because, it starts to deal additional damage in the psychic phase because you're in range of more smites. And all of its little guns turn on. There's a lot of random shuriken catapults stapled to shining spears and vehicles and things like that.
I guess.
Because you needed that.
But unfortunately, the Sororitas army doesn't really have an alternative game plan. It's gonna hope it can run a bunch of penitent engines at you, but if you get body blocked and shot by a bunch of indirect fire, there's not much else you do.
I should just come up here. And red penitents will advance. Going 11. Battle Sisters will advance. Going 12. And they're just going to come up here and not touch this wall.
Yep.
Stern and Kaiganel will advance. They're going 9.
They aren't quite as quick as everybody else.
They're here. Okay, that's fine. These Crusaders will raise. One of these Crusaders will raise a banner on.
Yep.
5. Celestine is not going to raise a banner. Yeah, so that is all my movement. Psychic phase, nothing happens as the Emperor intended. Shooting phase, something that's definitely not psychic happens first. Stern Smite goes off.
Sure does.
Yep.
How many?
So we got 3 mortal wounds on the Shining Spears.
Wow.
Yeah, get smited, Shining Spears.
Okay.
Alright. Morgan Vol wants to shoot some stuff. She wants to shoot the orange Dark Reapers.
Go for
here.
it. With everything?
With everything. It's too many dice. So.
What type of missile launcher do you want to use? Does she want to use?
What's their save?
3 up.
Any invul?
Nope.
Alright, we'll go with frag. I almost never use these.
Sure.
So they are
2d6.
right. So
That's
8
pretty good.
shots.
Be hitting on 3s because I'm behind the dents.
Sure.
And 3 swoop. Pretty good.
All right. I'll wound.
I'll just save 1 just in case. So 3 ups. Ugh,
All right.
Oh boy.
Yes, fine. And then the last one. Oh,
So Dark Reaper unit
Yeah,
targeted by Morphin Ball
Congrats,
almost
the
gets
extra son of one.
vaporized by Frag Missile.
All right.
Get absolutely slapped, Dark Reapers. That's what you get.
Time back.
right.
So
And that
Her
the
heavy
strength
bolter.
6 on her super
On
cool,
twos,
fancy heavy
threes,
bolter
rather.
over there is going to be very important here, winning on 2s instead of
and on
3s.
2s.
Ah, but she rolls bad.
One
Do we see the
eighty.
4+ save on that
1,
Dark Reaper?
So 4
Come on, Exarch. What do you got?
Fail it. What else do you have that
sorry.
can shoot at
Sorry,
him?
buddy.
Nothing. So I'll CP reroll it.
We're going to reroll to keep the Exarch
Come on,
alive.
Dark Reaper.
Ah,
you
he
live.
saved.
You did it.
Our boss.
All
He's a
right.
hero.
Okay. Shoot. Can't shoot. Can't shoot.
May as well.
May as well. Yeah.
You got the shots.
We'll shoot the
Green?
greens. How about?
Okay.
So just 5 shots on 3s.
Hmm. 3 swoop.
And on 3s.
Hmm.
3 AP 1.
Lose 2.
Alright. So that leaves the Seraphim.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna shoot the everything at the swooping hawks. Yeah, let's do everything at the swooping. Let's do the flamers at the blues, everything else at the greens.
Okay.
So hand flamers, number of shots.
Mhm.
14.
Pretty good. 4s, rerolling.
3s. Ministorm hand flamers.
Are they strength 4?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Souped up
Alright, fair
hand
enough.
flamers. Get
Yeah.
out of here, Eldar.
Okay.
Prepare
That's,
to be
that's
burned
pretty
alive.
good. I think that's a lot of dead dire. 4 ups. You get them.
Alright.
Alright. Absolutely rinsing that obsec down.
And then the other
Alright.
ones,
Yeah. So
5-bolt pistols.
5 bolt pistols. On 3s, rerolling. And
Morven Vaugh
3s.
absolutely coming in clutch here, buffing up this unit. See if we can kill 8 Dire Avengers
Come on.
with 5 Seraphim. Be nice.
So 4 AP nothing.
Ugh, 3 more. So the Exarch has
Almost
1
wiped
left.
2 units. Dang.
Alright. Then the plasma, no overcharge.
Yeah.
Might
was
actually just wipe this
not a reason to.
2 units.
Okay.
Does not hit.
We have 1 Dire Avenger
Just
left.
kidding.
Alright.
Dire I think they would come make sure the Shining Spears.
So the question here, I think, is where
Alright.
Celestine. We did kill a unit in the shooting phase. We killed the 5-man Dire Avenger, the blue squad, which means we'll get our miracle die, which is important. We do need just miracle dice. The question here becomes where Celestine goes with that charge. It looks likely we may just be angling because of that chorus of spiritual fortitude. We want to ram Celestine close enough, as close to those psychic as we possibly can. If you keep the Wraith Seers at arm's length without a quicken, it could be difficult to get any big punchy stuff in melee with Celestine, which means that they'd be forced to kill her in the shooting phase and then just allow her to respawn, and she can kind of start engaging stuff and wreaking havoc. So I imagine we fish for a big charge on Celestine's unit into the yellow Dire Avengers. We are in the charge phase now. And use the Sacrosancts and Morven maybe to charge the Shining Spear. XR can use that charge phase movement to get onto the center objective.
5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5 All right. Sacrosanct will charge the Shining Spears.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Well,
they're in.
That wasn't a very good
Yeah.
charge, but at least
Because
they're
they
right
have
there.
+1.
Yikes.
Well, no, you just have to end within an inch, so like the 2 still.
Yeah. So.
What if
3 to work
Celestine
with.
doesn't revive, chat? Well,
I'm gonna go here.
there's nothing you can do about that. Not anymore. If she doesn't revive, if she dies, she dies.
No, that's
That would be very bad, though. If we roll the 1 on Celestine, I think we're probably banking pretty heavily on Celestine
also
getting that
charge
revive
Shining
this turn.
Spears.
If Celestine does not revive, I think the game may well and truly be over.
8.
Interestingly, the Sacrosancts elected not to move on to the objective, which means that if Celestine leaves the objective, I guess we could just chain the unit and get Celestine to kill the Dire Avengers and chain back with the Gemini Superior, which I imagine is going to be the game plan.
Charge the Yellow Dire Avengers. Blues can technically declare that also. So Celestine would need a
So
7. So I'll take this Miracle 5 and
Sure.
roll the other one.
sounds good. Don't roll a 1. Actually, no, you can even roll a 1 because you have +1.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
But I rolled a 4. So she
Yep.
goes 10.
So Miracle Dice Celestine's charge to make it in.
That's 2 out
Do we want something on the objective there? Yeah, okay. Here's this turn. Maybe we don't have anything on the objective. I don't know about that. Just giving up 3 points. Yeah, I guess we're just pushing. This will engage the maximum number of Dire Avengers since we'll bring the red unit in. Eldari can fall back and shoot for 2 CP, but that is a lot of CP that you're going to be spending.
11.5 away, but the actual
I mean,
shard.
You can roll it if you. Yeah, if you get like an 11 or 12, we can figure
Let's
out.
see
if
what
it's
happens.
possible. Do they get +1 as well?
They do not.
Okay.
Oh,
They
so
got 10, so that's not gonna
close!
do it.
That's definitely not
Oh,
enough,
no! That blue
Alright,
unit could have been the one to seal the deal there, but no.
Range, nothing in range, very good.
Nothing in the center objective, though, chats.
Fighting?
I don't know how I like that.
Alright, I'll go ahead and start with the Sacrosancts.
Okay.
Maybe can maybe
So
we can
they
orbit
have
one Sacrosant in.
11 attacks.
We can
Well, they'll have to
potentially
pile and consolidate.
pile
They'll
in
have to
like
pile
this.
into because the back.
Then when you
ones-
consolidate, you'd probably be towards these
So just pile in.
Shining Spears over here. Actually, to be fair, yeah. So I think we're not going to direct assault, which is not great. It's not great.
Now they have 11 attacks.
Yes, they do.
Now, we also haven't talked about the other secondary selection for Bluestar here. We have Bring It Down on Jonathon's side of the table. Yeah, goodbye, Shining Spear Exarch. I think you're dead. Which makes a ton of sense given that there are 13 vehicles. Most of them just five wounds apiece on the Sororitas side of the table that you can get blown up.
I have to make 10-6 up to you.
On Bluestar's side, though, she has elected to take Braze the Banners High, which is not one we typically see on this mission, because you only have one home objective to put your banner on. And you have to do some work. You have to do some legwork to get out to the other objectives. Not to mention the fact that Eldari are very, very quick. And if you're not seeing, auto advanced 6 Dire Avenger units coming in and grabbing your objectives, or just Shining Spear units getting double moved onto them and killing everyone on the objective, then at the very least they can get models out to just touch those before you put a banner on them. Or they can shoot you off of your objectives if you do move out to banner them. So that is
God bless Celestine.
an interesting secondary, to say the least, I think, on the Sororitas side of the table. Not one I think I would have taken. It seems to me that the game plan is typically to retrieve Victaria's data, but again, Bluestar seems like playing very cagely around that. Yeah, just 3-inch move there. Around that Forewarned, and not wanting to bring a lot of the units out of reserve to potentially get those Forewarned off. But as we can see, I mean, we're only one battle round through this this game, and Eldari already down to 4 CP. They're going to be up to 5 this coming turn, but that's not a lot. Time to see if a Dire Avenger can swing in a Gemini. So if they're banking 2 CP, for the most of the game to Forewarn your stuff, might not be the end of the world, especially since there's so many line of sight blockers that you can use to I guess basically force them to suboptimally fire Dark Reapers, indirect fire Dark Reapers at you, which is actually, it's kind of unlikely a single Tempest Launcher attack fully wipes a unit coming out, especially if they are
That's all fights.
Valorous Heart.
I don't believe there's any morale.
Nope.
So that should.
Actually, I do owe you morale on this one Dire Avenger.
Oh. I forgot about him.
Yeah, I did too. He's okay. See you last 4.
All right, good for him. All right. So then that'll be your turn.
Okay.
I don't
So
score my Stranglehold or Direct Assault this turn, but that's okay.
and I get 10 primary.
Oh yeah, no Stranglehold either, chat. Ooh, boy.
Nothing command phase.
Okay. So I think the game plan.
Let's see.
I imagine that the game plan had to have been to get these Sacrosaurus onto the objective, and we just rolled that Snake Eyes for the charge. Because if we roll anything longer, right, we have the Shining Spear Exarch, and we just charge the entire Sacrosaurus unit around like this, and then use the Consolidate to get on to tow the objective with one of them, and then that opens Morvenval to go around the back to touch that guy so that she can get her combat phase, her fight phase movement. The downside is we rolled that Snake Eyes for the Sacrosanct charge, and I think it was early enough in the charge phase that Bluestar did not want to fish for a reroll at that point because we could have seen one of the other more important charges fail.
Okay. So let us.
But yeah, that was I would say not a great turn, simply because of the fact that we just didn't score any of our secondaries. Yikes. We do have, everything positioned in a very aggressive posture. Gonna start dropping bombs on Morvenval, maybe?
So we'll do.
Yeah, all you have to do is just stand on that center objective now.
We'll kind of do
With
that
anything.
there, and then
Oh, we're gonna tow the Seraphim to drop the bombs with the Swooping Hawks. Yeah, but now all you have to do is stand it with anything, and you just get the points. Get a bunch of points. Seems good. Easy. What could be easier?
I think we hop over, drop grenades, run away. So basically, we'll just move to here and then run back to here.
All right.
So we will throw grenades at them, so it's just 5d6 and 6 of their mortal wounds. Take 2 mortal wounds. Damn. Okay.
All right.
It's pretty good. Swooping Hawks. That's the best they've ever done with that.
Oh yeah, those Swooping Hawks spooped, chat. They spooped 2 Seraphim directly off the table.
Be a hero and hold this
Guess
objective.
they're not going to the center objective.
So we'll just go more. Shining Spears.
Nothing in reserve for each player. I guess we just put Shining Spears on the objective?
I'll be honest.
That seems a little bit aggressive.
Because we have to kill her. If we don't kill her, the game's basically over. So this race here is going to come out. Go 3 to there. And 5 there. So we're looking at 4-inch charge. That's pretty good. We'll have to make space for this other racer to come around. So can he fit between? I'm just seeing if he can fit between. Yes, he can. He does not have to go through the dense or difficult ground mix.
Yeah, imagine
the Night Spinner will just kind of back
we
up.
see an auto advance here, chat, on one of the Dire Avenger units, and they sort of complete another body block on this Penitent Engine unit. It's probably what's going to be the game plan.
The wall in front of him, so we can shoot a certain catapults and Celestine. If you got him, may as well use him. This Dark Reaper Exarch is just going to go to there. I'll actually just kind of touch the terrain with him, honestly. He'll just kind of sit back here and touch the terrain. Well, you could just go.
So I will say that, despite the fact that we didn't hold that middle objective and lost a bunch of points because of it, I do appreciate the aggressive play out of Bluestar here in order to try to come back here in what is becoming a very dire game state. Bluestar is essentially forcing the game to become this question, of can you deal with these characters in addition to the Penitent engines that are coming around the table. Jonathon, maybe just be forced to feed units to the penitent engines for a while, which is fine for him, but only if he can deal with the characters. If dice go poorly on the characters, which they certainly can do with 2+ saves, 4+ invulnerable saves, damage ignore rolls against mortal wounds, as well as a lot of additional anti-psychic just from the virtue of being Sororitas. If things don't go super well for Jonathon, and he doesn't kill both of these characters, then they could ruin his whole day. That's the downside of the Eldari game plan is that at least in the current codex, victory always hangs upon a knife's edge if you're playing Eldari, because sometimes your opponent's models just kill you because your whole army's like T3 and has a 4+ armor save.
Here. So, saving through there. I guess we want to be outside deny range of that creature. May as well. Give you less denies to have access to. Your rain will advance. 3. She can go 9 for the dex. For difficulty. She'll go to... She just wants to make sure her smite's not going to go into Celestine pretty much. So I think we'll just kind of put her back. It's like we're 8 and a bit there, so we'll have to come over a bit further. So 7 and a bit, and a little bit under 7. Okay. Yeah. It'll go. Yeah, it'll go into them first, but I'm planning on killing them with the fire sphere. So.
All right.
Actually, these start getting away. These Dark Reapers will move up their 6th. Four there. Just build it there. The Autarch will...
Chat, you have to believe in the invulnerable saves. As long as, I think it was, Jaime Paris was on a stream recently and said that as long as you have any model with an invulnerable save, the game's not over. Especially a 4+ invulnerable save. Mathematically the best invulnerable save. Makes way more saves than a 3+ invulnerable save. Every time. She could just save every time and not take any damage. Who knows? 50% of the time you make 100% of your 4+ saves. Org spit in chat. 100%, dude. Absolutely. Could this be one of those 50% of the time where you make 100% of your saves? I don't know if that's how math works, but that sounds right to me.
Fall back and I'll spend 2 CP so they can still shoot.
So we are going to burn the 2 CP to let the Dire Avengers fall back and shoot. Pretty expensive, but at least he does get those extra additional 1 damage attacks and the extra body blocking, try to keep Morvenval under corner.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty... No, you're good. Pretty confident in that statement.
Yeah, no Jinx, no Doom on Celestine.
By the way, the Red Seer is in Celestine's heroic range, in case you care about that.
I'm going to be charging her.
Both of them are. Yeah, I figured.
So she won't be heroicing even if you want. The Shining Spears over here will just go to... we'll stay outside of 3 for Morven in case I don't want to charge her. Do that, so they have options as to who to shoot. The other Shining Spear squad will go to here.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that the Dire Avenger that wounded a Gemini Superior
racer to get through
last fight phase? Because that's one heroic Dire Avenger right there.
I guess we can just charge them first at the end of the day. That should work. We'll advance purple Dire Avengers. I might just spend a CP to auto defensive 6. Yeah, I'm just going to spend a CP to auto defensive 6. I don't want to risk them not getting on
there's
the
the
objective.
big advance.
These guys can't heroic, can they?
Nope.
Yeah, probably gonna go for a body block. There it is, yeah.
I'll go like
Make those
13
penitent engines go
there.
around. Take that. Penitent engines, that's what
And
you
we
get for
just
having the
wanna
vehicle keyword.
Get in the way.
Get absolutely slapped.
Score our points and die a very miserable death. So I guess we can go. We can go a little bit further up. That's okay. That works. And then we'll advance the White Dire Avengers. They're gonna go 4, so they can go 11. Let's get the line of sight of Celestine. I think that's the movement phase. Yeah. So let's do Psychic. So let's start with the Spirits here. She's going to cast
Alright.
Jinx. In the box. She does. Would you like to deny?
Or 2.
I don't have to declare who it goes to yet.
Oh, okay. So Spirit Seer, more than 24, so we'll just go with Celestine for the deny.
Sure. No, okay. So they're just going to go on.
That's the -1 to saves?
That's -1 to saves, yeah.
Alright, I'll spend 1 CP to deny on a 4 up.
Sure.
So 4+9 on the Jinx. Will I let Doom go through potentially? Ooh, and a 4+
No, it
deny
goes through.
fails.
That stratagem never does shit.
So it's going to go on the benefit engines.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, I can't put on Celestine. We will do.
Interestingly, we're jinxing the
Let's
Penguins.
do the Farseer. She will cast Executioner.
Alright.
We will reroll her 1.
Morven may get
Farseer.
away unscathed here.
Farseer, what are you doing to me? It fails. Let's do a Smite. That does go off.
That's on the Seraphim?
That'll go on the Seraphim, yeah.
Alright, I'll spend 1 more CP for a 4 up against Mortal Wounds.
Sure.
How many?
Well,
does it
do you want to deny it first, or?
Oh, yeah. I should probably do that before I spend that CP, shouldn't
Yeah.
I? Wrong
Yeah.
button.
Yeah, no worries.
Sacrosanct. No, it goes through.
So then
I'll
now
spend the CP.
Yeah. So it's going to do
So we're gonna try
one
to
Mortal
keep
Wound to that.
Alright,
Seraphim
4 up.
alive.
Come on.
Good.
Alright, we're good.
All right. Yvraine will go. She'll smite. She does.
Alright.
You have 2 more denies left.
Yeah. It goes through.
So another D3 into Seraphim for 1.
Alright.
Psychic has not been fantastic. Okay.
1
So 1.
dice.
Then we'll case if you need. So 1 to start, not great. It goes to go off though. You still have 1 more deny. I think if you want to use it. The only other thing to cast is the race here, but he doesn't really have anything. So.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to deny. No, it goes through.
So this one I can choose who it goes on. So the Sacristans have a 5 up Feel No Pain, right?
That's right.
Mortals?
Only against Mortal Wounds. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put it on to the Sacristans, I guess.
Sure.
So what happens?
Yeah, gonna try to get rid of that
D3
bodyguard
mortal wounds for
as
1
quickly
mortal
as
wound.
possible.
Alright, on 5. They're good.
I wonder if not pushing
Not
for
a
that
great
Jinx
psychic phase. I guess the racer will just
was maybe partly just a desire to
you still have
keep the Spirit Seer
Uh,
out of
no,
harm's
you
way,
can't.
but also
'Cause
on the off chance that the
yeah.
Sacrosancts do
And
not
she
get
would- Okay.
murdered.
So protect is just going to go onto the.
It means that you
Shining
can
Spear's blood, I guess?
fire make your attacks into something a little bit squishier that
Alright,
more of involve being
shooting.
protected by a bunch of bodyguards.
Because
Because a lot of this is going to be AP 0 shooting with some
Let's
kind of inconsistent AP values, and you don't really want to be shooting that into Sacrosans when you're required to kill all 5 of them.
Put everything in the Celestine. Start with the Exarch.
All right, here comes shooting into
Hit on 3s.
Celestine.
Yeah, hits. Wound on 3s. The crafters. 1 wound at AP3.
Ooh,
All right, 4 up.
that's not very good. There you go.
Which is good.
The 4
And then we
plus
got
again.
another 8. The other guys on 3s. I still have a hit reroll. And 3s. So 1 at AP3 and 5 at no AP.
All right. So 2 ups.
Mhm.
All good.
4 up.
And 4 up.
Hey, we kill a Gemini.
Yes, we do.
Nice. We'll do Shining Spears. They will just put everything into Celestine. So
Naturally.
start with the Lances. So they are different strength, but they're strength 6 and 8. So like they'll just all be the same.
Sure.
So we hit on 3s. We have extra crafters. And we wound on 2s. So 3 4-up invulns on Celestine.
All right.
They're 2 damage each. So the Gemini dies, and then Celestine takes 1 so far.
Yep, and then 1 more to roll.
Mhm.
Which is fine.
So Gemini dies, and Celestine takes 1.
Yep.
And then we got 20 shurikens. On 3s. And 3s, and I still have my wound reroll left. So you have 3 at -3 and 8 at no AP.
All right. 2 ups. She
Okay.
takes 3.
And then
And
3 4-ups.
4 ups.
So she's down to 1.
So, yeah.
So I'm-
Good. And
Oof.
I'm just going to
Celestine,
use
not looking good
Miracle
for you,
5
lady.
to pass the last one.
Sounds good. All
Alright.
right, she's 1 wound left. All right, what do I use to chip off this last singular wound?
The Sororitas hijinks kick
Got
in,
Options.
keeping your characters alive. I think basically
Let's try
every resource we can force Jonathan to throw in here is a valuable one.
The Spirit Seer will shoot you with her pistol.
All right. Let's
She
see
hit.
it.
Give me a 6.
Please
She
not for the
wounds, take 3.
Spirit Seer. No
Spirit Seer, come
way.
on.
4 up.
Not like this.
Let's go,
Oh!
Spirit Seer.
Oh no!
Oh.
CP rolled that. Yeah.
Oh no!
The hero.
No!
Oh.
she's
Celestine,
dead.
why?
Wow. Okay, Spirit Seer. Coming in clutch. All right. Dark Reaper Exarch.
From a
orange
Spirit
one. The singular
Seer?
one is just going to shoot at
What?
Sacrosants.
For sure.
So 2d6 for 11.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely
Pretty good.
disgraceful, chat.
3's
Disgraceful.
hit. Reroll 1s and expert crafters. And 3s to wound. With an expert crafters. 4 saves, AP2. So I think you have 3 up saves.
I do.
Kill 1.
1 dies.
Who's ready for Celestine after that ignominy of being murdered by a Spirit Seer shuriken pistol? Who's ready for her to just give up and not respawn?
What do we do next? Let's do Sweethearts. Or no, let's do the red dire avengers. They're going to put everything to Sacrosants.
This lady right here.
12 shots.
What?
On 3s.
You're a demigod of the Imperium with unknowable cosmic power bestowed by the Divine Emperor?
Specifically did that, I remember now. And
I have
then
a gun,
we
though.
put 6s. And we wound on 3s with extra crafters. No 6s, unfortunately. So just 11 at no EP.
All right. 2 ups. This is the sax, right?
This is Sacrosants, yeah.
Yeah, 1 dies.
Okay. That is annoying. Ugh. It's so annoying to kill these things.
I could have 30.
You could. Let's do these Dire Avengers. Let's see how many are in range. Probably just the front 4. Yeah, so the front 4 are just going to shoot at them, and then this guy will just shoot at the blue penitents, I guess. So the Exarch first on 3s with extra crafters. And 3s. Crafters. Come on, you have AP3. You're supposed to be doing all the work. 4 no APs on the Sacrosancts.
All right.
The Dire Avengers are still shocked that Celestine was killed by the spirits here.
2 times.
1
They're-
left. All right.
They're just looking over their shoulder as they're
we got the 2 shots.
the Artark banks here like radioing over. Guys, shoot the Sacrosancts, and they're like, yeah, in a sec.
All right.
I'm still just I'm trying to
This last
trying to
we'll shoot at the Sacrosanct. Try to
savor the moment.
4
All
shots,
right.
3s with an extra crafters, and 3s to wound. The box with extra crafters. 2 at -3.
All right. 4 ups. Come on. Both the dice, please. She's
Yeah.
dead.
Cool.
Ooh, and there go
The Farseer is
Sacrosancts.
just going to shoot at. Actually,
So that's going to open up Morvenval to get hit by all this shooting. She's no longer Lookout Surd or Lookout Mammed by the Seraphim because there are only 2 models, and the Sacrosancts are down,
4s
which means
with an extra crafters.
she's just going to eat a bunch of
So,
attacks.
kinda
Hopefully
no-
the 2+ save works out for her.
All right. 3 ups.
We good.
They're dead.
Good. All right. Now we just blast Morven. So the Shining Spears in front of her will go into her. What's her toughness?
T5.
T5. Okay. So I can roll these all together then. So the spears first. 3s and 3s. Box. Just 1. -4. 2 damage. So they'll drop it to 1.
All right. 4 up. She takes 1.
And then we got 12 shurikens on 3s and 5s. 4 no AP.
2 ups. She's
Good.
good.
Blue Dark Reapers will put big missiles into her, and then the Axarch into her as well, I guess. Yeah. So big missiles on 3s, both hits, and 3s, both wounds. -2, 3 damage.
Yeah, Jinx said Morven would have been clutch
All
here.
right.
Morven, there's the potential that Morven bosses her saves here, obviously. We do have those Wraith Seers to go, which is going to be scary, and the Dark Reapers do have a pretty decent profile at attacking her. Yeah, and she's starting to take a bunch of damage,
3s,
so it might not be good enough. But yeah, Jinx would have sealed the deal, I think, for sure.
They do have an extra craft. So 2 more, -2. Is there 1 damage?
All right. 4 ups,
Good.
so she's good.
And then the other Dark Reapers will do the same thing. So missiles. We reroll 1s, thankfully. In the box, please.
Enderm the Swordsman, thank you for thanks for the kind words over there. I appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the channel so far.
These reroll 1s, and we have an extra crafters on the hit still. And 5s.
Yeah,
3
shout out
more.
to the Tyranid giveaway, by the way. We're giving away a Tyranid army for December. Exclamation point giveaway in chat if you want to join that if you haven't already.
All right.
It's a good plug, Enderm. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Then we'll do this Racer. We'll just shoot at her.
Mhm.
T3 for 1. Hits on a 3. Yeah, with the crafters. And wounds on a 2. So 1 at -4.
4 up.
D6.
That's a lot of damage, right?
You have
Yeah.
CP rerolled, so yeah, you just have to.
No, but I
Yeah,
can.
you can Moment of Grace.
Once
Yeah.
a D4 moment of grace.
Yep.
Discard this miracle 3.
And then the other Racer will shoot at her as well. 1 shots on a 3. Hits on a 2. Wounds.
All right.
T5S2 season ends on January
Should've put
9th.
Jinx
chat.
on her, I guess. The Night Spinner. I think we just gotta try to kill Morven. No, the Night Spinner will go into Blue Penitence.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing. With the big gun, so 2d6 shots for 8. 3s to hits. They all hits. We win on 3s with extra crafters. So 1 just goes through, and then you have 6 5-up saves because of Jinx.
All right.
Okay, that's pretty good. So it's gonna be 3 2 damage.
We can't make saves on Celestine and the Gemini Superior, but we're definitely gonna boss saves on these penguins. Get out of here, Eldar. You can't defeat the unknowable cosmic power of 3 penitent engines.
That one dies.
And then you can roll the next 4.
All right, 2 penitent engines.
Takes 2.
Yep.
Okay. That is the shooting phase all done. So see if Celestine stands back up.
All right, this is
All
the
right,
chat.
big
Please not a
rolls.
1. Let's not do it. No 1 here. Yay,
Yes.
she's back.
All right.
And Morven
We're
Vol
gonna start
lives,
charging.
chat.
Let's start with the race here over here first. Or actually, let's do what's this? It's 4, 5. Let's do the 4-inch charge with the race here first.
So Celestine does have damage reduction.
Do you want to
right?
Overwatch? Oh, I wouldn't recommend.
I do not. I do not want to watch.
Jonathan, hopefully giving advice to his opponent there. you shouldn't Overwatch this. Don't do it. It's not worth. So Celestine does have damage reduction. She reduces damage by 1, which means that the Shining Spears, well, the high AP and strength are going to punch well. The 2 damage isn't going to help that much, although the Wraith Seers are going to
7.
get to do a bunch. Now, unfortunately, Wraith Seers is kind of a low volume of attacks. We only need to get a couple through
and then the other Shining Spears with the
to
charge
kill
as well.
her. But
8.
we do have another instance of a CP reroll in the bank, potentially.
So fighting.
And Morven Vol is living. Morven
let's
Vol
see, we only
lives
have 1, 2
alongside
left, so I think we'll just start with
2
the
mortifiers in the back,
Shining
as well as 5 penitent engines.
Or Racer.
It's,
Let's do the 5-man Shining Spears.
Ooh, and fighting with a Shining Spear unit first. I don't... The Shining Spear is not on an objective right now, so they're only at 12 attacks right now? 11 attacks? Oh, they super don't kill Celestine, right? And then we run into an interrupt? And if Celestine can kill the other Shining Spear unit,
So
and then boss some Racer
it's
saves.
gonna be
I might have
maybe it
might have swung at the Racer first, to be honest.
Oh no, it won't. Okay. So
I don't know.
it'll be 8, 11 attacks. I will spend 1 CP to give them exploding 6s.
All right.
So
Oh, a Supreme
Is that right?
Sustain.
11, yeah, 11
Okay.
attacks. So we hit on 3s.
Heal exploding
please.
6s.
We have an extra crafters,
Ew.
and then we get 2 extras, which I have to roll to hit. So we get 1 extra hit, and then we wound on 2s, and extra crafters.
Okay.
So 8 at neg 4.
8
2 each.
through.
Oh, 1 damage.
All
to
right.
that.
Oh, no, don't
Alright.
fast. Oh, she takes 2.
She takes 2.
Whatever, dude.
And I would assume that you were going to interrupt.
Whatever.
That's correct.
Get slapped, Shining
I
Spears.
think that we're just going to.
So, yeah, the question here, you could try to roll 5s into a race here, right?
In terms of the Shining Spears.
But it's
Orange is already
It's
T8 is a billion wounds.
Orange
You're
is
basically
already
just
fought,
hoping for
okay.
mortals.
Pinks it is then.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and I think she's gonna turn around and try to kill
still
that Shining Spear
has
unit.
7 attacks.
Feels bad, man, but that's what you gotta do.
On 2.
We have our CP reroll. Oh no.
Oh, actually,
Oh
we have
no.
1 wound left.
So,
Oh, we did roll a
yeah,
bunch of 6s.
what is
Yeah.
All right, well that's fair.
Wound to roll. So
That was a
on
billion
30.
ones to hit though. I can't
It's
believe
eight
that
points,
happened.
so
All right. Well,
Yep.
she exactly
Good
got it.
talk, Celestine. All right, and then let's see.
That roll actually would have been sick into a
first
racer
race here,
though.
we'll start with this one, I
She
guess.
couldn't have killed it though, unfortunately.
Uh,
So it actually wouldn't have reduced damage.
It's on.
But,
actually, we'll do the one
that
closest to
would have been
4.
nice to roll a bunch
So
of 6s there.
3s with the crafters and 2s.
Oh
with the
man.
crafters
So this is
and
the
all.
dice that we don't want to see from
CP one as well.
Jonathan. Gonna CP reroll and still get a 1 on the first race you're attacking.
negative watts.
We just gotta boss
Negative
our
watts,
saves. Oh
watts.
no, not great.
D3 plus 3. Do you want a moment of grace one or?
I already used that.
Yeah.
No, that was in the
we're,
shooting phase. You can
we're
do
out
it
of
again.
miracle
Oh.
dice.
This is fight
In
phase.
that case, I sure do want a moment of grace one.
I mean, yeah.
Do we have miracle
Yeah.
dice? How many miracle dice do we
Okay.
have?
Discard my
So
2.
just one goes
Oh, we had
through.
one
So
more. Okay.
basically, I have to roll a 3 up to kill her. Which is
Okay, and she still
What'd you
goes
do?
down. Aw,
Okay.
too bad. All right, well,
yeah. I mean,
we
the
were
moment of
close
grace
there.
is worth a shot 'cause you could have survived
I think
that.
if we'd slow rolled those and re-rolled the
Alright,
first
you'll just go
one,
there, and then he'll just kind of consolidate this bit.
you could have forced the other racer to swing if you moment of great the second one.
All right. That is the turn.
But
I
the
believe.
chances that she survives that are pretty low. But she did get the interrupt.
I will pass it to you, and I will.
So it's
get
not the
my
end of the
3
world.
direct, or and 3
It's not great though,
stranglehold.
to be fair.
You attempt
So the question is, like, how much damage does Morvenval do here?
one minute.
I mean, I imagine we see the Shining Seers bit get picked up, and we see a bunch of this infantry get picked up. by the remaining stuff, and this is turns into kind of a mutual annihilation, I think. Eldari significantly in the lead, I should say.
Yeah, I mean,
From a victory point standpoint and an attritional standpoint, but battle is joined. The aggressive play out of the Sororitas is going to allow at least one of the characters to connect. I'm surprised that we didn't see Ephrail Stern and Kaiganil move more aggressively forward so that they could get a charge this turn. But they're probably just going to hide inside the Penitent Engines for now. Unfortunately, no flamers on these Chanting Spears is I think what we would really like. But Jonathon's body blocking game has been on point, which it has to be against a lot of these ground-based melee armies. Especially things like the Penitent Engine spam and the Drukhari Thick City. If you're good at body blocking and playing that kind of trading game, those matchups become a lot more tenable. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're playing against these big, slow, kind of ponderous melee armies. Might even be a big deal for the new Tyranid builds as well.
Well, leave her till later. Preacher will advance.
okay.
Come on.
The Eldar list is good into Thick City? Yeah, I can see that. Definitely, the downside of Thick City is the lack of long-range shooting. And if there's one thing the Dark Reapers love to see, it's an enemy that can't actually interact with them. So they just like sit on your table edge and they just get to rip into stuff all game. Obviously, the damage reduction sucks, but it's still going to be a lot of like pretty reasonable attacks. You know, it's 4 attacks from the little guys and then the D6 from the big guys, and the AP is all high enough that it can punch through like the T7 stuff pretty well. And then you're just trading Dire Avenger units for board presence, essentially. Mass objective secured, I found, is also very good against some varieties of Thick City. It depends on how many racks they have. Plus Mortal Wounds. Mortal Wounds also helps. Anything that gets through that annoying and vulnerable save that they always make.
Advance, I suppose.
Sure.
Go 10.
Oh, did you get your Miracle Dice for Celestine dying?
Chat, anything speed 8 that doesn't have the infantry keyword is gonna feel very slow. The big difference is the ability to go through terrain. So while the Penitent Engines may be able to like, you know, they have a high land speed. The problem is that if you put a thing in their way, they can't get through it, and they end up being kind of naturally slowed down by terrain on the tabletop.
That's true as well, yeah.
I'm going to call basically any non-infantry slow that doesn't fly or flip belt.
Stern and Kaiganil. We'll move 8. 8. Okay. Kaiganil's going to go flying, but we'll sort him out.
I know, he's good. Yeah, he's just right behind her, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, chat. So the Penitent Engines, this dude right up in here, right? Or this lady, I guess. That's definitely a lady. So she spent a lot of time detailing her Penitent Engine. And she doesn't want to have to hose it off after they plow through these Dire Avengers. It's just not worth the time.
She gave herself rerolls, I guess.
We'll carefully
Oh, yeah,
butcher them with saws instead, which is a much cleaner and more humane way to dispatch Christmas elves.
Yes. Alright, so she's just going to move
So she has options.
up here. Yes. Very good. Alright.
yeah, maybe that's also true, chat. The Imperial Dogma requires them to mercilessly butcher these elves. They can't just like push them aside. They have to stand there and kill them. Make sure they're dead.
Sure does.
2 in the chest, 1 in the head, just for good luck.
4. 1 mortal wound on the Dire Avengers.
Classic. Alright.
Ah,
Alright. Together
Ephrael
shooting.
Stern. Not smiting in the name of the Emperor well enough. Come on,
Okay.
Ephrael, what are you doing?
Alright, this mortifier over here into Night Spinner.
Sure. So he's will be -1 to hit.
Alright, so on 4s.
Mortifier into the Night Spinner. Okay.
5s.
I think we have a line to the Shining Spears. I would much rather shoot into the Shining Spears, to be fair.
Okay.
Although they
Or
are
the-
skilled riders, but there is a
Alright.
potential you kill the Exarch if they roll bad, which would be good.
This mortifier back here. It's just gonna wait. Alright, we'll do more of involved. We'll do her frag missiles into the Swooping Hawks and her bolter into this last Dire Avenger.
guy. Yep.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. Do frag missiles into Dark Reapers. Can she see this lone Exarch?
I don't believe so. I mean, you could have moved her so that you can, if you just want to pull her back a bit. Like I don't mind.
Sure. Right, so her heavy bolter into the
Some good
Exarch.
sportsmanship
frag
from Jonathan
missiles into the pink. No, they're in cover.
There. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter because I'm shooting across the cover either way.
Well, I would get light cover on the pink ones, and that are actually in the train. I wouldn't get light cover on the teal, so
Oh, okay. Fair
you
enough.
would be better
Right,
off.
so frags into the teal.
Okay.
Number of shots. Only 3. Oh boy.
2s though, or 3s because -1 to hit.
Yep.
And
I'm
roll.
re-rolling because she's
Aha.
gonna fall.
And 3s.
And yes, indeed.
Not gonna lie,
Re-rolling.
I was kind of
Hello. Only 1, no AP.
wishing
you
that
do a wound, though, and I'm gonna
Morven
take
would
it on
just
the end.
unload into one of these raciers and just try to go for a big spike and vaporize one of them in the shooting phase, and then try to melee the other one. That would have made me happy.
Oh, it's
Or
3
up.
minus 1.
Yeah, he's dead.
Alright, cool. Do I want to shoot these things with my battle sisters? Not really. Do I have range to anything else? Well,
May as well.
4 bolt guns can shoot
Yeah.
non-rapid fire range into the red Dire Avengers, so I might as well do that.
Go for it. I'll hit.
I'll hit. And 2 wounds.
Corpse. Kill 2.
Yeah.
1, 2. Okay.
Then it's Morven. And we have 1 more mortifier. Can't reach any of the Dire Avengers, but we can, or the Dark Reapers, but we can shoot the Dire Avengers
Yep. May as well.
for 6 shots. Are they in the cover?
No.
No.
I mean, there's if there's one model that's not in, then they don't count as in. So
Yeah, fair enough. So on 3s
3s.
and 3s.
3.
3 minus 1.
Or 5 ups. So we have 1 guy left.
All right. That should be it for
Well, that was a little
shooting.
bit less exciting
Charge
shooting
phase.
phase than I was hoping for out of the remaining heavy bolters in the back. But I guess the lines of sight were a little bit
Battle
awkward.
Sisters will charge the Dire Avengers.
Sort of hoped that this mortifier was going to be able to shoot some.
Imagine they're going to get charged by a lot.
That's a great assumption that you've made. They get a 6, so they're just going to come. Get
Forward a bit.
forward a bit. Right. Very good. Ephrael Stern will charge the Dire Avengers.
Okay.
Don't worry, Dire Avengers. Everything will be okay.
Also gets a 6.
Mhm.
You'll definitely survive this fight. Imagine studying for tens of thousands of years or whatever Dire Avengers do.
Oh god.
Perfecting the art of wearing a super frilly hat and shooting your gun really well.
Blue penitents.
And
will
then,
charge. No, first the red penitents.
You know,
will
being
charge.
ordered by the Autarch just to like sort of stand in the way of some penitent engines for a while. Just run up over there. Make sure that they waste their time butchering you in the most grotesque way possible, rather than attacking the rest of our army.
Alright, so front one. That's 9 on the front one.
Yep.
9 on the second one. Okay, so we can bring them forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it'll still be an inch. Yeah, looks good.
All right. Now the boost will charge them.
Yep. Bonnie.
For 5.
Well, see, here's the thing, chat. If you don't,
Trying to get as much movement as
I guess
can.
if you don't,
Sense to me.
if the Dire Avengers don't sacrifice themselves nobly for the cause, how will you get like fully
Alright.
charged up Spirit Stones to put in Wraith Blades that you then send in front of your opponent's army to be charged as an alternative, right? So, like, in order to get the non-living body blockers, you have to sacrifice some Dire Avengers first.
If you wanted to.
So it's fine, really. We're just recycling.
11.
Yep. I think she got that.
Let's see, can she get like all the way around?
So Morbin, gonna try to go
That
ham on
gets
the
me
race here.
if I do.
Well, because you can't move. Like, did you declare the Star Avenger?
I did not.
Okay, so then you can't
So
move
I-
within an inch of him, right?
He's only winning
So-
on fours.
Yeah, so we're just like
Yeah, so basically you
hanging
just
out here.
come right up there, yeah.
Come up
Into
and
an
base
abominable
this guy.
save.
Yep.
So this could go poorly for
That's
her.
Pretty good.
And I am not be able to. No, I can't heroic you. You're good.
Perfect. All right, so I believe that is all the possible charges.
Okay.
And you have no CP, so that makes this simple.
The
Yep.
old Stalin method of
We
war.
want to start.
I was
One elf gets a shuriken catapult. The other elf gets the shurikens.
just going to come
Get
in.
everybody in range to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no CP on Jonathan's side of the table, so we just get to
Or at
operate
least
as much as
almost
we
everybody.
want
I think you can get everybody.
as the
Oh,
Sororitas
come on.
player. So I think we're gonna try to kill these Dire Avengers maybe with the back units,
Yeah, you're good.
and then sort of make use of
I
that
have 5 attacks
movement
plus
to
1 for
slingshot
superior, plus
forward
1 for
into the
chainsaw
Eldari
translate.
army.
Hmm.
On 4s for
seven,
some
right?
reason. What's that?
7. 5 plus 2. 7.
You are so right. Thank you.
No worries.
I've almost never fought with this squad.
Yeah, I have matched 3s.
On 4s, so only 2 hits.
It shows why you don't fight with them often. 1 wound. He's okay.
All right. Next, we'll fight with Stern and Kaiganil.
Sure. I think they're gonna do it.
Well, only one
Got it.
way to find out.
Funny feeling.
So, 5 attacks from Stern on 2s rerolling.
Ooh, Stern,
Thank
what are you
God for
doing?
that lot. All
At
right.
least you did one mortal wound
She
earlier.
should win them
This.
on.
3s probably.
Yeah,
And they're how much
definitely not
damage?
on 1, certainly on 4. They're 2 each, and AP3.
Yeah, they're just dead.
Oh, there you go. Goodbye, Dire Avengers. It's been nice knowing you.
Closest unit.
At
is
least they didn't
probably
survive long enough to
Spears.
get brutally murdered by the Penitent Engines.
It would be the racer.
Wraith Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 and
In a mouse, less than 3.
3.
Mhm.
Now we can activate with all these penitent engines and just move them 10.
Yep.
As long as I don't care. So 6, 8, 8,
Mhm.
6. I have to get closer to the Shining Spears. On the red squad, well, it's model by model, but it's probably just going to be the Shining Spears.
I'd imagine you could probably make it so that you could. Well, so you have to do your 5-inch pile-in first because it's 2 separate moves, right?
You're right.
And they get a 5-inch pile-in and consolidate, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so definitely closer to them now. So I need to
So,
still be
We
less
could
than 3,
potentially.
Can I do it? 5, 3. Nope.
We could potentially just touch the Shining
You can get
Spears
another
here,
objective, though.
because when they're not charging, they just drop to Strength 3. So while they do a lot of damage,
9, 3.
they
You could, just kind of move
they only wound on 5s,
behind. Well, it's still 2 separate moves, right?
which means that
It is,
they
but-
would not be charging the subsequent turn, and Jonathan does not have the CP to fall back and shoot. So he would actually just basically lose use of that Shining Spear unit next turn. I actually think because we're in the stage we're in where we have to kind of take every tiny little advantage that we can. I actually think I might have touched the Shining Spirit unit with this Penitent Engine unit.
Yep.
Because we're not going to be
Yep.
doing anything to this objective.
I know you have.
Since the Dire Avengers are objective secured.
Are you intending to tag the spirits here?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna punch you.
Engaging that Spirit Seer, though, you better look out, though.
that she
That
would.
Spirit Seer's got
She has.
one nasty pistol. She's going to deal a damage with that pistol. Mark my words. But I think what we're mostly doing there is forcing the Spirit Seer to fall back if she wants to cast any spells. So she's not going to be able to smite into anything besides the Penitent Engines. But yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen the Shining Spheres could touch there.
Cross.
Actually, I was going to make it so the Wraith Seer has to move to see me.
Sure.
Hopefully. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, it is definitely one thing to remember about the Shining Spear specifically, because they're such a weird unit, is that unlike most units, they hit so much less hard when they're not charging. So the damage you take from them when they charge definitely can make you think again about touching them with other melee units, but man, do they kind of suck when they're not charging.
Very good. $5. Okay.
So Morven Vol did wound 5 times in the race here and made 4 flop and vulnerables. No big deal.
Okay, I get to punch you then.
No big deal. That's fine.
So he will do that.
That's
5
all
attacks
fine.
on 3s.
It's all
With the
fine.
crafters. And 2s.
Thanks.
Or, I'm strength 10, yeah, so 2s. So 2 on your invuln.
All right.
You have to make both of these, otherwise she dies.
Yeah, I was checking my miracle dice.
Yep.
I don't have any 4s, so. All right, so CP reroll the 1.
Sure. It's good.
She's good.
Okay. And then you want to fight twice?
Yes, I do.
May as well. Probably going to be dead next turn, so.
Yep.
Can she kill a racer? 4s?
4s, come on. Oh, please. TTS, thank you.
Only 3.
All
Well,
right.
I have to make 2 of
383.
these.
All right, race here. What do you got?
I'll only make
Yeah,
one.
you're dead.
You
Get
got
out of here.
Or him,
Get out of
or
here.
whatever it is. Oh, I have my Spirit Series attacks. I'll just do this real quick. Crafters, 2
Oh,
hits. Wounds on 2s all the time. 2 at no AP.
All right. 4
Very
ups, we're good. So, and just consolidate Morphin Fall into this Dire Avenger, so.
Yep. Oh, he's going to attack you then. 2 attacks. Both hit. And
1 wound.
2 wounds.
2. Oh no, not like this,
Don't
chat.
roll 2 ones.
Oh,
no.
that was so close to Morven Vol
Does he have
dying.
AP?
No.
All right, I believe that's my turn.
Oh my god.
So over to you.
I almost had a heart
I just
attack
seen
there,
around
chat.
that last Dire Avenger.
I was like, not like this.
He runs away.
Wild, absolutely wild.
Darn. All right, this turn I'm going to score my Stranglehold,
Yep.
my Direct Assault.
Yes, you do. Alright. So we gotta kill Morven, which we can probably do. We gotta kill these penitents.
Yeah, just for future reference, if you do want to modify dice, you can't fast roll your saving throws. Because saving throws are technically never fast rolled, according to the fast
Gotcha.
dice rolling rules.
Sorry about that if I played that wrong.
That's fine. Alrighty. So the Spirit Seer is gonna run away, because that would be foolish to
Saving
stick
throws and
around.
damage rolls
She'll be able to cast, but that's
are
fine.
called out by the fast dice rolling rules in the Warhammer 40,000 core rulebook, big giant rulebook edition,
All of our smites.
as not being or having to be rolled individually by the defending player.
So I gotta-
Even if you're rolling all of your hit and wound rolls together, your saves and damage rolls are always taken individually, which means that it's technically in this case I don't think it would have made a big difference because I imagine Bluestar would have rerolled any failed save on Morven
So there's
because she had to make 100% in order for Morven to survive. But obviously it makes the decision much easier if she knows the other save has already been passed.
Blue Squad has one each.
But if she would have passed the first save, it's an easy choice to reroll the second save. And she probably would have rerolled anyway on the first one, regardless of what the second one was going to be.
8.
But that is something to keep in mind for the future. That's why you see people a lot of times, they'll pull dice out of a
Scavenger
pool
will
when they
just
roll.
kind of
They'll be like, just in case, I want to roll. I'll roll these ones
as
last.
best as you can. The Farseer. So I want her to be. Okay. So basically, we're equidistant between these two. That works. Yvrain will just kind of shuffle over, stay in the objective. Sweet Hawks will advance, I guess. 2. So they're gonna do.
So I think we can see here, chat, that if
16, so we're gonna touch Morven.
potentially if those Retributors had started off the table, obviously the other stuff would have taken more damage from the initial shooting from the Dark Reapers and the Night Spinner. But if we had those 2 units of Retributors in Strategic Reserve at this stage of the game, either we would have seen less damage being delivered by the Eldar army because they would have had to save CP to CP reroll, or they would have
These guys will slide over 4.
received more damage, not CP rolling defensively and stuff, not using stratagems defensively. Plus, they then also have to, it dictates their positioning on the Farseer in order to represent that forewarned. So, but in this instance, obviously the Eldar are out of CP, so they are not representing a forewarned. And if you did bring 2 units of Retributors on this game state, they could very well end the game. So as much damage as we saw the Sororitas take top of 1, and I do think that there have been a couple mistakes. Obviously, forgetting our secondaries round 1 was a little awkward. And I do think that we maybe should have tagged these Shining Spears, for example. This, I think, has ended up being not an absolute shutout of a game. Morven Val did make connection. She did kill one of the Raciers. And the Eldar are probably about to tip over the House of Cards at this point, but Sororitas have made a game of it.
Alright.
With a couple more units on the table, I think
Psychic.
they very well may still have been in this
So
game.
let's do Yvrain. She will smite.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we kill 1 or 2
She does smite.
Penitent engines. Or I think more realistically, what we probably lose is like these Battle Sisters,
Or 3.
or some of the Crusader squads, some of the little T3 infantry squads from the Dark Reaper Exarch shooting. Because without Doom on the table, I doubt that Jonathon puts that Strength 4 shooting into the Penitent engines.
All right.
He might, but it's kind of inefficient. He'd much rather shoot at Battle Sisters and just be ripping them off the table. Especially getting rid of how important getting rid of that objective security is. It hasn't actually mattered so far in the game. Because Jonathon's been able to play so passively, but
No, I don't.
it could have.
Okay. So what happens? D6 mortal wounds into Morven for 5.
All right.
May as well roll them.
Just 5 4-ups, Mormon. Easy.
Oh, I'm going to roll them.
Easy. Easy. Oh, she
Okay.
killed them all. Just do the opposite.
The
Mormon,
first
you
will
had-
go.
it was the
she's
other
going
way.
to
No,
Executioner.
what have you done?
It does, finally. I think you... Can the Crusaders do it?
No, I don't think
creature?
so. Nope.
So,
I think my adder denies.
do I get it? Okay. So D3
Yeah.
into the Battle Sisters
All right.
for 1. You feel the pain, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to check it.
On a 5. No, one's
So
ours.
it kills 1 and then does another D3 because it killed the model for 1 more.
All right.
So just another 5.
Yep.
They were vulnerable saves.
So it kills 1. Alright. Then we'll do Doom. We'll reroll the 1 with her runes. Nope. Unfortunate. Do we want to cast another power? A smite would go over here. No, I think it's fine. The Racier will cast smite, I guess. He does. So it's just D3 into whatever's closest, probably Stern. Yeah, 3 into Agonal Stern.
All right. 5s. Take 2.
Okay. So we'll shoot. So let's start with the Farseer, I guess, just into the red penitents. 4 shots on 2s and 5s. For the crafters. I was really hoping we were going to have Doom for once this game. 1, that's no AP.
Alright, 4 up. We're good.
Let's do Shining Spears, just everything into red penitents.
Okay.
So I'll just roll all the lances first because they're all the same against you. So 3s, crafters, and 3s with an extra crafters. So 3, they're 2 damage each. So you can just roll all 6 right now for Philippines.
Alright. This is on the reds?
Yep. So one's down to 1.
Take 4.
Then we got 20 shurikens, 3s. I don't have any reels left, and 5s. Just 3 Philippines on them.
Oh, they go through?
They're AP 3, yeah. On 6 is 3.
Alright.
So
Take
1
2,
dies,
so
1 takes a
1.
wound. Alright. Let's see. Pink can only see. I don't think pink can see blue. Or I think this one can, but the other one can't. So let's do the teal Dark Reapers. So we'll shoot 2 big missiles into blue. And the X are going to go into the Battle Sisters in the middle. So the missiles, both hits. Oh, thanks. Come on. Get back your dice. 3s, 2 wounds, 6 up saves.
Alright.
And they're 3 damage each. And you have 1 on 3, so.
Yep.
Not.
That one dies. And
Yep.
the other one
Takes 2.
takes 2.
Okay.
Or, yeah, takes 2.
Takes 2.
This was the red squad again?
This is into blue.
Or that was the
Yeah,
blue
they
squad.
can only see blue, yeah. And then 2d6 into red Battle Sisters, 10 shots on 3s. I have all my rerolls left. Good thing. Well, not fantastic. 3s, 5.
AP?
5 AP2, so 4 up 6.
Yep.
2.
2 die.
Right, there's 2 left. The Racier can just shoot at Kaigan and Stern. Or actually, let's do the pink Dark Reaper. So the one that can see the Penitent Engine over here will shoot at it, and then the other one will just shoot at the Mortifier down the way, and the X-Arc will shoot at Kaigan and Stern. So let's do the let's do the missile into the Penitent Engine first, the blue one. So on a 3,
Okay.
3 roll 1s, and on a 3, 1, 6 up save.
Alright.
3 damage.
Alright.
Gotta make one of them.
Come on, dice.
Make me shoot other things at them. We make one.
Yeah. Take 2.
Yep. And then we'll do the X-Arc next. 2d6. We'll reroll the quantity of this X-Arc power for 7. We always hit on 3s, so we ignore your -1. We reroll 1s, and I will extra crafters one of these. And then we strength 4 your T4, right?
T3, but -1 to wound.
Okay, so we moved on 4s.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 saves at -2. I guess AP doesn't matter against them, right?
4 ups. So
And then
it's 4.
he has
4
3
damage,
wounds
I
left.
think?
They're just 1 damage each.
Alright. 5 ups.
You can roll both of them now. He'll have 2 wounds left. Yeah.
Come on.
That's 1 wound left.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do these Dire Avengers. We'll put.
So the problem is
the X-Arc
Kaganil
will put
knows
his
all
down
of
into
the
one wound penitent
all of the
engine.
secret strategies of the
And then
Eldar, so
other
he
guns will go into
can
the
dodge
other
it.
penitent engines right in
I
front of
believe
him.
in
So
Kaganil.
X-Arc first. 5s. So just 3 Feel No Pains.
Alright.
Get him.
Next one. This is the 1 wound.
That was the 1 wound, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
so he's
the
dead.
then the shots into the other penitent engines right in front of us. So 3 at no AP.
Alright, 4 ups. Oh,
And 5 ups.
and 5 ups. Nope.
Okay. Nice job there, Avengers. Swooping Hawks, we'll just put everything into them.
Sure.
So it's just 20 shots. On 3s, we are rerolling 1s. Hey, I actually did it this time. It's rerolling 1s and extra crafters. And we wound on 5s with an extra crafter. So 5 and OEP. 1 damage.
Alright.
Jesus. That's rough.
Take 2, so that kills 1, and 1 more on the other one.
Yep. Night Spinner will go, so Big Gun into Stern and Kaiganol, and then the will shoot the
roll was
Shurikens
a
into
roller
the
coaster
Penitent
ride,
engine
not
right in front of
bad.
us.
Sure.
So Big Gun first. We get 3 shots. I'll CP reroll that. For 12. Okay. So we hit on 4s. I've taken myself out of reroll 1's range, so just the crafters, and then we wound on 4 or 3s because T3 when the game works. In the box with an extra crafters.
I'm very much pulling
So
for
just
Ephraim
1 at
Kaiganol.
AP4, so you can take that on
pull
Kaigo. The
this
rest are
game
going to be
out by
AP0.
themselves.
So Stern has a 3
So-
of armor, right? So just take this.
Yeah, the AP will matter a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, so just
So
take
I'll
the,
take the 1.
Yeah, I fast rolled them so you can do it in whatever order you want.
Okay. The AP1, the big AP1
Yep.
on Kaiganol.
So
doesn't
see
save.
if he dies first. Gets 2
It's
damage.
2 damage. I
Yeah.
understand. Alright.
Okay, so he does that.
Guys.
And then you just have
Um,
3 ups on the rest.
So AP. So it's 3 ups.
She will
3
die from that.
Yes,
Or 2
she
damage
will.
each.
No!
Okay, that's pretty good.
Rip. Just kidding.
Let's do. Oh, and then we have the Shurikens into the Mortifier, or the Penitent right in front of me. They all hit.
The great characters have been murdered.
Alright.
And I think with them, potentially the hopes and dreams of the Adeptus Sororitas are probably going to get run over by Shining Spears at this point. Too bad. You know, interestingly, yeah, we do have to stop shooting the Battle Sisters because we do want to get that race here on Objective 3. And if the race here does manage to not murder the 2 Battle Sisters on the center objective, it will be a big 15-pointer for Bluestar.
13 damage.
So that's also what we're hoping for. It looks like a giant D-cannon shot into this line of fire. Oh, man. This went south pretty quickly. Too bad.
All my shooting, so we'll charge. So Shining Spears, I can charge Penitent Engine. Do you want to Overwatch?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Six shots.
You moved on 3s.
So we're overwatching into the Shining Spears.
You're good.
Looks
Is there
like
EP1?
5 going through.
Okay, so I'll just take them on.
You can take on the Skilled
one
Rider guy.
damage?
They're 1 damage.
Okay, I'll take them on my 3 up and Vaughn, I guess. Yeah. Alright, he's down to 1. Very good.
Perfect.
That was a little risky, but it's good. And then they're gonna go 4 inches, which is enough.
Perfect saving throw from the Shining Spears to not get murdered by the Penitent Engine.
Let's go
On their way in.
ish. Okay, race here, we'll charge Sisters in the middle.
I do appreciate how Jonathon is making use of Shining Spears. I know that they were a very scary unit in 8th edition. But generally speaking, the damage of armies is significantly lower in 8th edition. But the fact that Shining Spears are kind of much more of a finesse weapon, their damage isn't great. Only 2 damage, strength 6. Not amazing in the context of 9th edition, but if you use them as more of a problem solver than a hammer, they definitely work very well. And they look very impressive as a unit in the hands of a player like Jonathon.
So that's just 22 damage.
Yikes.
Alright.
Hooray.
Somehow
So
we
killed
found
the
a way to kill
Penitent
that
to
guy.
nobody's
You
spread.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and, then we'll race here. He has 5 attacks because he's on an objective.
Mhm.
On 3s, with the crafters, and 2s. So just 5 on your invul.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yep, they're dead. Alright, that is going to be pretty much game, I think.
probably, yeah.
Because I am down to Crusaders and a Preacher.
Yeah. Oh, you have one more 5, but yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I'm pretty sure the way it's going to work is you can definitely score direct assault next turn, because all you have to do is move these 2 guys onto the point.
All right. We're talking it out, chat.
So you'll get
if anybody has any questions for the players, go ahead and throw it in there as we do our move on to our post-game breakdown here. Looks like Jonathon probably going to end up maxing. Yeah, you should get the full Hunsky, the big Hunsky. But that does lock him up for a 5th pod win in T5S2 Season 4. We only have 30 pods launch because we've been having a lot of other events be included. Which means that Jonathon has won 1/6 of all of the pods. That's wild, chat.
Yeah.
That's crazy good. Good on Jonathon.
Who's pushing it, but 1 turn is
for sure.
reasonable. All right. So it seems like our final score is 150. Great game. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good game. I think it was a coin flip. It was who went first, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was my gamble, and well, I didn't hit it, but that's okay.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I didn't see a lot of other options against all that indirect, so had to go for it.
You did what you had to do, which was deploy everything on the line and pray to go first.
Well. You don't get it every time.
No.
Anyway, thanks for the game. I was really happy to be here. Like I said, this is my first pod, so I did a lot better than I was expecting or hoping to do. And
it was good.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, and I'll be honest as well. I think that like turn 2, if I didn't kill Celestine, I think the game was over. I think it would have been much.
There was a chance for something to happen. Yeah, it was pretty unlikely for you to not kill Celestine.
Yes,
but not impossible.
With my entire army shooting her and then charging her.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think like if she just hangs out on objective 3, like the conservative play, I think that's nothing. Eventually, like maybe she doesn't die that turn, but
well, I mean, it would have been harder for me to kill her, but I probably still could have killed her.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Maybe
I guess I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't charge her with my race series in that case.
No, but like, she's not character protected up there, so
yeah, that's true.
And all the Dark Reapers and B cannons, it's not impossible she survives it, but I don't think it's very likely.
Yeah, and then she's not really doing anything.
Right. Like, even like that won't get me the point because, well, with her heroic it might do, but like all your obsec was like around.
I mean, so. what I would have done is I would have just sent 2 squads, one squad charge Celestine and base her, and the other just hang out on the objective.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I agree. There was a chance for me to get a little bit lucky and have something happen here, but I don't think it was that big a chance.
You needed to make a lot of saves.
Yeah, or win the roll off to go first.
Yes.
But that's okay. All right. I have no idea what, if anything, is happening in the stream. Trevi, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, we got some questions for you. First off, congratulations to both of you for getting to the finals. Jonathon, I believe this is your 5th pod win in Season 4, right? Look at you go. Just showing people up with Craftworlds. Hot damn.
Only two Craftworld wins, pure Craftworld wins. The rest were soup.
So the rest of them.
All
right.
That's so just more than a lot of people have.
Just 2 wins. I'll erase the other ones then.
Yeah. That works.
We don't need those. Did have a couple questions. One for Jonathon from Biotech. How do you feel about the Spirits here over the Warlock Skyrunner? Although, to be fair, would the Warlock Skyrunner have killed Celestine? I don't know, Biotech.
I mean, he would have had 4 shots instead of 1.
Right,
so.
but he wouldn't have, like, quick drawn with panache.
True.
The snap fire hip shot.
Yeah. I'll be honest. So the only reason to run a Warlock is to Seer Council. However, with the way I set up my list, the Farseer's in the Spearhead, and I need an Autarch, so I don't have a Warlock slot. And the reason I needed her in the Spearhead is so I can use Forewarned on the Dark Reapers and the Night Spinner. So yeah, and the Spirit Seer, she's the same point cost. She has a regular smite, and then she also has what's it called? What else did she have? 4 wounds instead of 3. So she can't kill herself immediately on apparels, which happens too often with warlocks.
That is
so yeah. So like those factors. And then also you can just give her the wings because like nobody else wants a relic in the list. So she can move almost just as fast as the warlock anyway, so yeah. That's kind of the rationale there.
That makes sense. Bluestar, here's one for me. In hindsight, how do you feel about not strategic reserving the Retributors?
That's a good question. I honestly didn't even consider strategic reserving them. And I still think that's probably the right thing to do.
I agree.
Yeah, because like then they come in turn 2 and they're where? Like they're over here maybe, or they're over here. It's not impossible that something could have happened from that, but this seemed to me like a game where I just had to kind of go all in on first turn and either get it or not.
Yeah. Also, the issue with strategic reserving them is that, one, I can forewarn them, so they can come in and then just die to Dark Reapers.
Right.
Anyways, and then that's shooting him in your turn, which is more efficient, because then they would have shot somebody else in the previous turn. And then also, I have so many bodies I can just screen out, like, most of the table with. Like,
yeah.
You won't be shooting anything that I want you to shoot with them, pretty much.
Yeah. I think that I agree with that, because like, if you bring up a bunch of things and screen out and then force me to bring them in like, practically where they were already standing, and then not shoot anything, and then die to Dark Reapers. They were probably dead to Dark Reapers before they shot almost no matter what in this game.
Yes, but see, the other benefit of not strategic reserving is that then they eat a shooting phase of Dark Reapers, and your Seraphim and your Battle Sisters get to live for an extra turn.
Right. Also, I don't have to pay CP to strategic reserve them.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, to be fair, as soon as there isn't anything in reserve, it means that Jonathon no longer has to hold CP to represent the Forewarned. And he can also move the Farseer wherever he wants, right? Because like he doesn't have to keep it near the Dark Reapers or the Night Spinner.
That's true, yeah.
So I think like there is an inherent benefit to just like forcing him to play around a strategic reserving. I
suppose so.
Yeah, and his army's so compact that like even if you win the roll to go first, I don't think they're shooting anything anyway, right? Because
that's why I said they're probably dead to Dark Reapers before they get a chance to shoot, no matter what in this game.
Yeah.
But there was. I figured there was at least a chance that I would catch the nose of a shining spear or something.
Sure.
If I had gone first, I would have shot them at literally anything that was visible. Dire Avengers, whatever.
I don't think anything would have been visible.
Probably not, but
I was being very careful too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is just a coin flip match.
We have another question from Sir Darwinning. How much stock, Jonathon, do you put into Warp Spiders?
I don't know. I don't really like Warp Spiders.
There you go. Garbage. Throw them out.
Well, no, they're not garbage. They're more expensive. So, I mean, if you have the points, go for it. I didn't have the points. So, but like, they can't deep strike multiple times. They can only do it once. And then, I mean, they don't have an invulnerable save. I guess they have a 3-up armor. That's better. And then they can always get -1 to hit. But like, the biggest problem I have with Warp Spiders is that yes, they have a 46 move, 46 plus 7-inch move, but the amount of times I roll like a 4 on my 46 is just like why do I bother taking them? At least with the Swooping Hawks, you have a 14-inch move, so you can guarantee to, like, if you drop 6 from the table quarter, their base is less than an inch thick, so you can just move 14 inches straight across and then rod in the second quarter. So you can guarantee with the Swooping Hawks, whereas with the Warp Spiders you can't. So that's my logic behind it, but I think that Warp Spiders are okay. They are okay.
Warp Spider's definitely classier though.
They are a lot classier.
So that
I don't know. When I was in high school and had like 10 models, and it was like 3rd edition, I thought Swooping Hawks were the coolest stuff in the game.
Swooping Hawks are pretty cool.
Their little ankle grenade launchers, delightful.
They're terrible, but
yeah, I know, but
I mean,
delightful
since
is
I don't
the
play Eldar,
perfect
that's part of what's
adjective for
delightful about
Swooping
them.
Hawks.
what's that, Trevi?
Delightful is the perfect adjective for Swooping Hawks.
Yeah,
They're just so
They're very
delightful. They're I mean,
I hate their fine cast models though. I have a set. And
They
oh yeah,
they are one of the
They're
models
terrible.
in most serious need of an update, just across the game.
yeah.
Swooping Hawks, like all the Aspect Warriors, but especially Swooping Hawks.
Shiny Spears need plastic kits too, which apparently they're getting. Because like the worst thing about Shiny Spears,
Dire Avengers still come with like the plastic Guardian body and the metal heads.
No, they have their
No.
own kit now. Thank God.
yeah, they
Oh,
have
do
their-
they? Okay.
They've had one for a while.
Those
since
kits
5th
were a
edition.
travesty. Those metal,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
metal plastic.
it's not
hybrids. Oh my God. I'm
Well, there's
glad
still
we're past that.
there's plastic and fine cast hybrids. Like the Autark Skyrunner is a plastic bike with body, and then the arms are fine cast.
what a nightmare.
It's
But
like I bought
the
one.
first years are all plastic, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I bought an Autark
We're almost
Skyrunner. I'm
there.
like, oh yeah, they're a plastic kit. And then I open it. I'm like, oh no,
No, get rid
oh
of it.
no.
It absolutely slaps.
And the spear is so warped too. It's like curved like 15 degrees. It's like, come on.
It's a specialized Eldar spear. It takes thousands of years to learn how to wield the curve spear.
Exactly. See,
Well, it's
not
just,
everything
it's
has to be
just on a
straight.
pool noodle. You can't block
Yeah.
it
There you go.
because it just wraps around your sword. You try to parry it, no, can't do
Yeah,
it.
forget about
It's
it.
just whipping back and forth.
He's LGBTQ positive.
It's a non-binary spear. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but he's not straight.
Not
No.
straight.
Okay.
True,
Yeah, all right.
True.
Yeah.
Asking Jonathan, can you link the workshop file for your models
The workshop file.
if you have one?
It's in
Is
the
it-
Battle Forge. It's in the
Okay.
most. Just download
True,
the most
just
updated.
update your
Battle
Battle
Forge.
Forge. There you go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I will say the tanks are not properly sized.
Rip.
Like this Night Spinner, I had to resize. So like, if you want that, I can.
It also
give
doesn't
to
have a
you,
base. Terrible.
but- Yeah, none of them do. So
Terrible.
no matter which mod you play, but to be fair, the base sits entirely beneath the hull, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
It's funny that so much of the Eldar infantry models are like the physical models are so badly in need of an update, and the tanks are just as old and still look fantastic.
The tanks are pretty good.
Like whoever sculpted these back in the day really nailed it.
I will say one thing about the Night Spinners that I absolutely despise are these little wings in the back. They're on like these little tiny plastic like rods, and they just snap off all the time.
I mean, I just meant how they look.
Oh yeah. They do look good. They do look good, but these wings need to go.
Yeah,
Get them out of here.
that's fair enough.
Don't
Get them
put
out
on.
of here.
Easy. Solve
Well,
that
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, I put one on and then the other one broke off, and I tried to glue it twice and it kept falling off. So I'm just like, screw it.
Yeah, a classic.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else from the chat for us, Trevi?
So far, just for Jonathan. So,
All right,
if you'd like to take your leave, then that's all good.
I'll stick around for another, I don't know, couple minutes.
All right. Two related questions.
Mhm.
Ray's asking, are you ready for Eldar to be as busted as Dark Eldar when the new Codex comes out? And also, MacBray asking if you're paying any attention to the rumors of the new Craftworlds Codex.
Yes and yes. Well, I mean, I don't. I hope they aren't as busted, but it sounds like they're going to be more busted.
Fun.
Like it's
Super
so fun just like steamrolling people for like without even trying, right?
Yep.
But the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is like actually being able to take the incarn and like not feel bad about it, or not the incarn, the avatar. Like it's such like, you know, it is, you have this shard of a god of war and he like barely does anything. And he just dies to like nothing. It's like, why did you take this? Why is this thing 220 points?
Not wrong.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is the avatar actually being playable.
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Ray's also has a question for Bluestar. If it's your first time playing in a T5S2 pod, how are you liking the maps?
So it's not my first time on some of these maps, because I played in a Youngbloods tournament, and like I played just casual games using these maps, and I like them a lot. Yeah, they're in my, you know, excuse me, in my unexperienced opinion, they are the best TTS maps I've played on.
Wow.
I've like terrain placement that really kind of.
I heard the guy
like,
who makes it kind of a jerk though. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about that, but maps are good.
Are you gonna update them for the next season, Trevi?
Yes, there will be new maps.
Ooh. You heard it here first.
Jack CL, question for Bluestar. How do you feel about the Castigator tank?
I really, really want it to be good. I haven't tried it personally. Several people, like I'm a pretty new player, so there's lots of things I haven't tried. But the consensus is that like without any access to rerolls except for like a crafter style reroll from Argent Shroud or any stratagem support, it's just highly inconsistent, and it's a Rhino chassis, so it's not that hard to kill, even if it does have a 6-up invul save that you can use Miracle Dice on. It does bring the army some stuff that we otherwise don't have. Long range shooting. The only other real long range shooting is the Exorcist, which has been popping up in a couple of lists that are a different style from this one recently. Some people are liking that as an answer to Hive Guard, I guess. And but the Castigator doesn't do that because there's no strat for it to shoot in direct. I really want it to be good. You know, I really want to like, you know, use its long range and vehicle movement to control firing lanes and stuff, but so far that has not materialized as a thing it can reliably do.
Yeah, the real problem is those annoying people who take a bunch of multi-meltas and then just shoot it. How annoying! Must suck.
Frustrating.
Super frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, its big cannon is like range 72, so if the board was twice as big, you know, maybe it'd be a different.
True, yeah.
And there's no
yeah.
I guess that's the other problem.
Yeah, there's definitely it's an 8th edition model and a 9th edition codex.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. The other thing is that like it mounts 3 heavy bolters, which in some metas would be a pretty cool thing to have. But heavy bolters are just okay. Right now, there's a lot of -1 damage, and there's a lot of things that just heavy bolters either don't really do enough into, or they are just overkill.
I think the other problem is that like, if you know, in the situation where you want 3 heavy bolters, why not just take a Retributor squad with 3 heavy bolters and 2 cherubs, and then you get to shoot more with them in the turn they pop out, and like the tank is just gonna die the turn it comes out anyway. So like,
right. I mean, hypothetically, the answer to that question is that the tank has like movement and can like peek out one angle and then peek out a different angle.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
and it's technically
and there's
more
already
durable.
3 Retributor squads in the list, of course. So.
True. I guess if you want a 3rd or a 4th Retributor squad potentially, then yeah.
There you go.
But it doesn't have rerolls or cherubs or stratagems or etc. etc.
Right. Like I mean, you saw in the 8th edition codex Ashley Thompson bringing like heavy bolter immolators, a whole bunch of them, right? But back then they got reroll 1s from canonesses. or
Yeah.
reroll ones to hit and wound from Junith. So, that's like 36% more efficient with those rerolls than without them, and that is not a small number.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Let's see. There was one more question. In the future, would you bring more sacrosancts?
Maybe. I think if like I would have try and get like 20 or 30 sacrosants into this list, that is just like, that's a different list. That's like a different archetype. It might be that archetype is better. I don't know. But, if you try to put 12 penitent engines and 20 or 30 sacrosants into a list, they fit, but you don't have a lot of room for a lot else. And then you're making decisions about like whether you bring Celestine or whether you even bring Morven Vol and stuff like that. They are super good, especially into a list like this. Like we watched Dark Reaper Exarch shoot Sacrosanct and kill one. Because they're VH, like that's pretty good. And there definitely are, the lists that are just Valorous Heart Battalion with 30 Sacrosancts and in some matches you can just walk across the field and kill everything with halberds.
I also
That
think
list-
that. Yeah, you go.
That list probably has a much better matchup into this list.
Yes.
This Eldarai list. But yeah, I think if I were to put 20 plus sacrosancts in here, it would simply be a different list or archetype, and maybe it would be better, but I don't know.
I think the biggest problem with adding more sacrosancts into this list specifically is that you lose out on like other stuff that you want, like for example, penitent engines.
Yeah, the other thing is that like part of the idea with this list is that you're presenting limited targets for like limited types of profiles to shoot.
Yeah.
Absent and direct. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I think
so
the thing with it is that this list is specifically good into only 5 sacrosancts. Almost every other
Right.
list, 5 sacrosancts is more than sufficient to keep your characters protected.
Right. I think that is probably true. But if I have like a bunch of sacrosancts and a bunch of robots also, then like the anti-tank guns can always shoot the robots, and the infantry guns can always shoot the infantry, and it's tough infantry, but it's not that tough.
Mhm.
And then I lose out on the opportunity to make my opponent's shooting inefficient. That doesn't matter in this matchup very much because a lot of the shooting is indirect, so I don't get to control what it shoots.
I mean, to be fair, like the Tower Avengers would have be shooting sacrosancts instead of penitent engines, right?
Yeah, perfect example.
So
Fair enough.
But if it just got Doom off, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But I guess it worked out at the end of the day.
Just don't roll a 3 into a 3 next time, okay?
Just
roll better.
You're right. You're right.
40K 101. You should know that. You've won 5 pots.
You're right. Well, I mean, I just wanted the roll to go first, so like it was.
That's true. Yep. But you got the 6 that mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One more list, or one more question, and then I'll let you guys go. From Chubbles. I guess this is probably Jonathan, but if both of you want to answer, that's fine. Is there any list that takes full Ynnari, or is that just terrible?
It is bad. It's not good. If you're gonna do full Ynnari, just run Drukhari. Just put Drukhari into Ynnari, and then it's like, okay, it's not that terrible.
Like take like Ynnari witches, or just play Drukhari?
Well, I mean, it's playing Drukhari, but they're called Ynnari, basically. I mean, I guess you could, like, one of the fun things is you put Skyweavers in Ynnari, and then you can give them reroll ones to hit with Ancestor's Grace. So, like, you can give them rerolls. You can give them rerolls in shooting. Yay! Whoa. But yeah, it's not great.
Do you get access to the You only use the Ynnari psychic tree, right? For your Ynnari casters.
Yep.
So we can't doom the Star Weavers anymore.
No. That was only in like sixth and seventh edition, I think, or whenever Yunari first came out.
Yeah, it was. You used to just take multi factions in 8th until they updated like all those powers to target to only affect.
Yeah, because the like Skyweavers rerolling wounds like with their haywire kind is just like, oh
yeah,
bye bye Talmon. See ya.
It was pretty good. It just blew up knights all day.
Yep. They still kind of do that, but not as good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll call it there. Well, thanks both of you. This is a fun game to watch, and I appreciate both of you playing in the events.
Yeah, thanks, Trevi.
Yeah, had a lot of fun.
Cheers.
Alrighty, see ya.
All right.
All right, chat. We're going to call it there for today. What a stream. Chubbles with the resub.
Praying for Wraith Host Yunari with the new codex.
Dude, I hope Wraith Host becomes good also. I'd be all in for some goodness, some Wraith Host goodness for sure. It's definitely like one of the most aesthetically pleasing Eldari armies in my opinion, because all of the Wraith units have this like very cool they're very cohesive, right? They all have like basically the same design language, and I would like to see that brought to a full army rather than just like the Wraith Seers that you see sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I would hope that it would be good too. Thick City 2.0, Wraith City, let's do it. Boom. All right, we're gonna call it there, chat. Thanks everyone for watching. This was a 6 stream. We had 60 people, I think 65 people at the top. So one of the bigger streams that we've done. Maybe we'll do more Sunday streaming if people are around to watch on Sundays, and we'll do that. Or maybe people just come out for Craftworlds, you know. I'll be live tomorrow at the regularly scheduled time, so around 4:30, 4 o'clock U.S. Eastern time. So 19 hours from now, I guess, basically. I think we're going to do some more meme streams. So we talked in the patron discussion. Some people want to see me play Tyrannocytes. So we have a list that is 11 Tyrannocytes in it. That might see play. We might see more of the All Flyers Tyrannid list, but it's probably going to be silly stuff on the stream tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good time. And otherwise, let's go raiding. Who's available to be raided? Let's take a look-see. Artosis is live. We could beam raid Artosis. No, let's keep it in Warhammer. Only 100 viewers on Warhammer today, though. We have like half of the Warhammer viewers. Sororitas Sunday. Well, we just streamed Sororitas, so we could go hang out with them. Nobody playing today, unfortunately. We'll go hang out with Chibi Dumpster Fire, because we have a very appropriate painting thing going on. So we'll go do that. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. You'll all hopefully be seeing me tomorrow live. I don't think we're gonna have a Tactical Tuesday this week, just because I don't know, I'm kind of taking it slow, but I'll definitely be live every day this week, and on the Twitchers. So watch for me there. Anyway, goodbye.